All right, live. Let me know if you can hear me in the comments. Come on, give me a sign. Let me know that my voice is loud enough tonight for you. Give me a thumbs up, send me a heart, a like, a dislike. I don't care. Fuck Nazis, fuck anti-Semites tonight and every night and day. Doesn't really matter. Can you hear me, guys? I don't see any comments. Like there's 10 of you and nobody's giving me a thumbs up. Order in the court, order. That's right. Where the hell are you? Hey, Smiley B, nice to see you here. Like, I really wanted to see you on this night's live. And I give you my word that next time it will be so much earlier, so that it will be so much more convenient for you. Also, guys, remember, please give this stream a thumbs up or even a thumbs down. Doesn't really matter. It always helps. And if you give it a thumbs up and you change your mind, you can always take your like back. That's all right. Okay. Feeling I'm feeling that all the anti-Semites actually have their voodoo dolls out. You know, they all have effigies of me, and you know, sticking their little pins on there, because in the past like 2 or 3 days, so many things have happened to me. I broke my phone. I had to go buy a new one. I'm sick. You can hear my nose is stuffy. My throat is sore, but there's no way I will skip an opportunity to roast a fucking anti-Semite. Not now, not ever in my life. But yeah, keep trying with your voodoo dolls, motherfuckers. I do not really care. So tonight, I am so excited because I'm going to have on panel my Jewish goddess extraordinaire, Rosie. Ta-da! Let me add you.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
There you go.
Can everybody hear me?
Okay, send some hearts, send some thumbs up.
There I am. Hi. That's my Smiley. Hello, sis. I love you so much.
We love everyone in this room. Donna's here, vlogging, Reese's, everyone. So many kisses to everyone. Lyndon is here. Just 11 viewers. Okay, guys, so I promise I'll get my shit together, and next time I'll come live earlier, because, you know, my Australian time zone is getting me all kinds of confused. So yeah, I'm promising you a different experience next time. But I promise that okay, we will not keep you all that long tonight. Like, we'll keep you longer next time, because I'm just hoping so much that Rosie will join me again for another roast and anti-Semite session.
You know I will, now that I've getting this first live out of the way. Thank you for tolerating me. I'm a noob, so here we go.
Thank you for tolerating my existence the past 2 years. So
it's been a long 2 years of this, but here we go.
Mm-hmm. So a lot has been said about us, like, you know, how people, they love to attack me and my mutuals, like as if I'm some kind of uber celebrity. Like I can still not wrap my head around it, because okay, so I had a different Twitter account, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who just found me through other socials outside of Twitter. But yeah, I used to have an older Twitter account, and it was somewhat popular. Is it okay to say that, Rosie? What do you think? Was it popular?
I would say it was on its way.
Yeah, like
very popular, absolutely. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten all the attention you did.
Yeah, I had 2,300 followers, and my threads were causing major reactions until at some point everything went downhill. Like, it's so traumatic. Like, I'm laughing about it right now, but I had to take my Twitter account down and start afresh. But my message will always be the same. Fuck Nazis. Fuck anti-Semites. Fuck you. If you're watching, you know who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying not to do any name drops, but I got nothing in this game but my sweet Semitic ass and taking down Nazis. I got a YouTube channel that's non-existent. I have a job that doesn't require me to be nice on social media. So fuck them. Here we go.
That's right. That's right.
And I've had there's a little drinky going on. All right.
That's right. Tonight,
cheers, everybody. Mazel tov.
I mean, mazel tov. Like, okay, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. Let's try our best to use all the languages we know. First off, I'm going to start with Greek. Καλησπέρα σε όλους. Σας στέλνω πολλά φιλιά να παραγαμηθούν όλοι οι Ναζί. Και όσοι δεν γουστάρουν τους Εβραίους να ψοφήσουν. Bienvenidos, buenas noches, mi amigas.
Buena onda. Google that one.
Not really, because I have studied Spanish, my lady.
I was referring to somebody else needing to Google that to
right.
That's what that was.
right. Let me grab that translator. But yeah, true story. There's a lot of stories you don't know about me. Probably one night I should arrange like a Q&A thing. Like, I got stories for days, but one of these stories is that I actually studied Spanish in Guatemala for 3 months. I took like intensive courses, 9 hours a day. There was a teacher on top of my head, and they were pumping Spanish right into my head. So, hola.
So it sounds like folks are wanting to know who we're dragging tonight. I would like to start. I would certainly like to start the conversation about anti-Semitism in the beauty community and the little. I'm trying to watch my words because it seems like even when I'm advocating for children, somehow I'm bad. So I would, and I'm a little tipsy now, so bear with me. But it's a struggle to find allies online as a Jewish woman, or I'm sure as a Jewish person in general, because it's so difficult to spot when somebody is being anti-Semitic. And some people don't recognize when they're being anti-Semitic. So, you want to know how to spot an anti-Semite? If you are just learning the basics of Judaism and anti-Semitism. For example, we were talking earlier about George Soros, and there's lots of anti-Semites that will bring him up to blanket Jewish people under that umbrella. It is our job as advocates and allies to say, hey, that's anti-Semitic, you shouldn't be saying that. And then give them just a brief education. If they tell you to fuck off, or if they block you, guess what you got? You have an anti-Semite, because people who don't mean to be racist or be bigoted or be anti-Semitic will listen there because they don't want to be an asshole. Guess who doesn't mind being assholes? The ones who constantly fucking. Am I cursing too much?
No, not. Yeah. There's no such thing as cursing too much, especially when it comes to anti-Semites. Like, I love shredding them.
Like, so much cursing. Okay. Yeah. But my point being, I don't go around labeling anybody, just anybody, an anti-Semite. You can clearly tell when somebody is a racist. Sometimes it's harder to spot anti-Semites, but they're the ones who don't want to stop saying anti-Semitic shit. They want to keep pushing the narrative that, like, Jews own the media. Jews run this. We have space lasers, in case you didn't fucking know. So,
yeah. And I mean,
it's like,
disclaimer, I'm still doing the roast of an anti-Semite. Probably I'll roast an anti-Semite too, every fucking week. But it just so happened that I had to move house this week. Like, I didn't even know it. So bear with me. But that's what I've been talking about in my last live, that there's so many anti-Semitic conspiracies that are so ridiculous and so out there that, I mean, they actually serve as a peak comedy. So, I mean, what's the best way to spread awareness than, like, making something as digestible as possible? Because me as a Greek, and that's something that me and Rosie have in common. I'm a Greek. Rosie is married to a wonderful Greek husband. So you know that our way going about politics. Hey, Jamie, love you, baby.
Hi, Jamie.
So our way since, like, ancient times going about criticizing politics is satire. Like, we do not take it seriously. Like, politicians need to be ridiculed. You need to show the hypocrisy in the funniest way possible to get people involved, to get people interested. So I think that the Greek in me, like, screams, begs to, like, roast anti-Semites and anti-Semitic conspiracies into cinder, but, like, in a funny way, because I seriously cannot find a single fiber of my being that can take that libel seriously. So stay tuned for that. Because the conspiracies are never ending. Like, you name it, every plague, every problem, everything that goes wrong in this world, you will always find an anti-Semite blaming it on Jews. And some of these theories are way too funny. And the only thing that they deserve is to be ridiculed and roasted and, honestly, cyberbullied. And yes, I just endorsed cyberbullying.
Ellie, do you mind if I say something really quick to the community?
Sure, go ahead.
I just wanted to say how much I appreciate those that have started stepping up and saying something, even if it's brief, and to, like, just tell certain people to fuck off already. I really appreciate it. I also understand how I saw what started 2 years ago, because as a Jewish woman, it was easy for me to see the tropes, the anti-Semitic tropes that were being used against another Jewish woman who I don't particularly like. However, it's the right fucking thing to do. So I'm following what's going on. What bothered me was that it all went away and got pushed away because of one person, and then a group of people that derailed the whole thing. But the fact is, whether you agree with who did it or not, Somebody was doxxed. A woman was doxxed unfairly. She was targeted with Jewish anti-Semitic tropes. She was targeted with dog whistles. They used hashtags to bring neo-Nazis and other anti-Semites to her. They're really simple ones too, but they know what they're doing. So and I can see why the beauty community was like, there's a fucking Nazi in the beauty community. It's hard to believe. They're fucking everywhere. As a Jewish woman living in it, I can tell you, because I have to watch for it. It's my life. I have to protect it. I can see why other people were not able to see it and think it was incredulous that there was some person so fucking gross and vindictive that instead of going after somebody for what they actually did, they went after her for her fucking religion. That's not okay. And it was
religion or heritage, because let's face it, that many Jewish people do not necessarily practice religion, but they're still targets of anti-Semitic harassment, and they're still targets of Nazis. So, for example, let's go back to Holocaust. Nazi Germany didn't really care whether a Jew was religious or not. They were actually examining whether they should exterminate people that that had a quarter of Jewish blood in them, regardless of their religious beliefs. So it's like such a unique form of bigotry that, first of all, cannot be compared to anything else. And to me, it's actually a straightforward insult trying to compare apples and oranges, because Jewish people have been persecuted for thousands of years just for being Jewish, whether that means religion, whether they're practicing, or whether it means bloodline. And that's the main difference.
Yes, thank you, Smiley.
Ariana is here. Beautiful. Our beautiful Jewish Ariana Cohen definitely attacked her heritage more than her religion. Most anti-Semites don't care about the religious aspect. Exactly. Yep. And that's the thing, that when Nazis in Germany were discussing in their private meetings the solution to their ultimate question and whatnot, they only cared about the bloodline. They didn't care whether somebody was practicing or not. They were looking for ways to determine how much Jewish someone was, and whether they deserved, quote unquote, to be exterminated. So that's how serious it is.
Yeah. It's a hard history to listen to and to see. I know you guys see me retweeting the Auschwitz Museum because we're trying to have people remembered, but it's also I'm drunk. It's so important to remember that it's getting worse. You guys in America, you saw them in the Capitol, right? Wearing the shirts. 6 million wasn't enough. That's a dig at my people. That 6 million Jews killing, that wasn't enough. They were in my Capitol building. So, and they're working in there right now. It's you guys, people of color and Black people, you guys know they're in our fucking government. So having them in my community, fuck that. Why are we letting these assholes run the drama community? It's they come in, we're all doing our own thing, we're having normal drama, beauty fights, and then all of a sudden these bigots come in. Oh, girl, I'm sorry. I'm just going on and on. Hold on. Let me take a drink.
You should. You should, and
Okay.
I'm so thankful that we have Ariana with us tonight because
Yes.
she's a fountain of knowledge, and she's actually saying the same thing that I was saying, that if you had a Jewish grandparent, that was enough to get you killed, and they actually took it as far as to, try to compare phenotypes and whatnot to prove that you were not Aryan.
Yes.
Being just by bloodline a quarter Jewish was enough to get you killed in Europe.
I just remembered in my drunken haze the point I was trying to make from your point, which is, it is, of course, you can have Jewish ancestry. You can have relatives that were in the Holocaust, and that is important, and we need to discuss it. However, Judaism is the only religion that you are born into. You don't have a choice. If your mother is Jewish, by the Torah, you are a Jew. We have
exactly. That's what many people don't understand, that maternal bloodline immediately makes you Jewish.
You are
so if
Jewish.
if your mother or your grandmother was Jewish, immediately you were a Jewish person.
Yeah, whether you practice or not,
yes.
you're a Jew. And there are some Judaism is a religion, it's a culture, it's a heritage, but there are also DNA markers. So anybody who tells you that it's not a race, that is not true. That doesn't mean every Jewish person is of the race. They may be of the, I'm speaking it almost wrong, but I think you'll fucking get it, Ellie. Help me out. Okay, I'm there.
Okay, so let me explain this as best as I can. But first of all, there are many theories around race. But the predominant one that I think many people will understand in this chat is that race is not about color, but race is a social construct. Yes. Which means that it doesn't really matter what the color of skin is, but you can still belong to a certain race. So being white or brown or black doesn't exclude you from being indigenous in America. It doesn't exclude you from being Jewish. It doesn't exclude you from being Aboriginal in Australia, even, because I have a personal story. It was so interesting because I was looking to get some new qualifications when I first moved here 5 years ago. So I visited the Aboriginal department of an Australian university, and I wanted to enroll, and they're like, no, you do need to have some kind of Aboriginal ancestry, and we don't really care that you're white, but we do care that you do have an Aboriginal relative. So this is the best way I can describe it, that it is not a matter of color. It is a matter of what you're practicing in your daily life. So you can just, for example, you can't just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm Aboriginal, regardless of the color of your skin. But if you're embracing the culture, and if you're participating in the practices, regardless of the color of your skin, yes, you can be indigenous. Yes, you can be Aboriginal. Yes, you can be Jewish. So the definitions surrounding race are so conflicted sometimes that they make it so hard. And this is what people who want to divide communities use, pretty much.
Yes. Oh my God, the division, just race baiting that's happening. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Do you know how many? Oh my God, there's so many different beautiful cultures and races in Judaism. Imagine being a Jew and you're black and you're trans.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me who's more fucking oppressed. They are not out there bitching about the stupidest shit. They're out in the world making a difference and trying to stay alive. And I've got these assholes on here, like, just going on about how you're racist and you're this and you're that. I'm like, can you? That's why I just ask people, don't take my word for it. Go look at my timeline. Go look at their timeline. Who is, I like, anything that I put out that is about another culture, I was asked to amplify. If I enter a conversation, I was asked to enter. I would never put myself into another race culture's argument situation without being asked to ally. Because I don't want to talk over anybody. I don't want to take away from somebody else's cause. But that also goes for me too. And my people. And if you aren't watching out for anti-Semites, you're not protecting your own. Period. Because I promise you, whatever race culture you come from, I have them in my fucking temple. So we need you guys. We need you guys because they want us dead. It's not like, I mean, these morons are just trying to run us off. But there are people on Twitter who want us DEAD. And it's awful. But with having allies, with having you guys, just being able to say, that's not okay. Like,
exactly.
You guys know some of the words I've been called, and so many of you stepped up, and I was so grateful. Like, I was teary because it's hard to come by allies. Sorry, I'm getting teary.
I think it's precious because this has been a journey for me as well, Rosie, and you know it. Like, we're much closer than most people understand. Like, in true anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, people spread around that I'm actually some mastermind who controls everyone around me, and they like me because I go to them and I talk to them and I somehow convert them and shit like that. But that's not the case at all. And first of all, let me briefly address Ariana's comment because she's a wealth.
Yes.
She's a fountain of knowledge. And she's like, you can be an atheist and still be fully Jewish. We're a peoplehood. And that's what people need to understand, that when I keep saying that anti-Semitism is racism, I did not refer to phenotypes. That's actually when your mind goes straight to, skin color, when you are talking about race, then immediately you're subscribing to the Nazi logic of phenotypical, appearance that makes you a member of a race, where that's far from the truth. And indigenous people understand that this is not the case because of the way they were invaded and they were treated. And Jewish people understand this because of the way they were sent into exile multiple times, and their phenotypes were tremendously affected by that. And Australian Aboriginals understand that more than anyone else because there were actually laws in Australia, white Australia, that actually obliged them to give their children away to white families so that they could be educated. So phenotype means nothing at this point.
Yeah, and can we... I just wanted to make sure that I made this point before, in case so it doesn't get forgotten, because I really feel like, and I saw somebody else bring it up in the chat, that at some point we have to have a discussion on people magically becoming another fucking race. All to get into arguments like it. For example, I just want to be out the answer because I'm fired up. There is a person who has recently claimed they have Jewish ancestry. That
Name drop in the chat.
That may very well be true. However,
yes. Mm-hmm.
Why is this new Jewish person using their platform to promote anti-Semitism? Somebody explain that shit to me. There is, that same person is friends with somebody else who called me the Gestapo. They like each other's tweets.
Exactly.
He's a fucking anti-Semite. Don't believe it. I don't care. There is a thing, even if it is, guess what? There's a thing called auto anti-Semitism. And that is called a self-hating Jew. So anybody who is claiming they have Jewish heritage but promoting anti-Semitic accounts is clearly either a fucking moron or is not what they say they are. And I'll say it again. You're a fucking moron. They are a fucking moron. I don't believe
they are a fucking moron. They're a fucking moron because they tried to twist my words when I insisted that anti-Semitism is racism, but not based on phenotype. That's what I never said, but that's what they tried to twist my words into. Like, race has nothing to do with phenotype, and that's what people need to digest. Sure. If your phenotype is, let's say, Black, definitely you do not enjoy the same privileges as a white passing or a white person. That doesn't mean that this is the end all be all. And this is what I have a problem with, that my words were taken so much out of context, because I mean, this is a theory that I never stood behind, that race is necessarily connected to phenotype, and they try to make that argument, but actually race has more to do with lived experience. Sometimes your lived experience is directly linked to your phenotype, and I think that Shani, if she's still in the chat, can help you with that. Yes. When you're Black, there's nothing you can do to change that. That's your lived experience. But let's say you're a white passing Jewish person. That doesn't mean that your lived experience is facing any less oppression than the average Jewish person. Of course, there are issues of colorism in every community. But I'll give you an example. To drive my point to drive my point home. Let's say that I'm a white woman, okay, and I walk downtown Melbourne. I'm enjoying...
Oh, sorry, guys. I'll see if I can fix it.
I'm enjoying a lot of privilege. But let's also think now that I'm the same white woman and I'm wearing a kippah, the Jewish hat, for those of you who don't know, and I'm walking downtown Melbourne. I'm not enjoying the same privilege. And that's that on that. So it's not as simple as phenotype. Race is a social construct. Race is what you practice. Race is who you associate with, what's your everyday life, how you express yourself, what your people are going through, whether you believe in God or not. Right? So it's so much more than skin color. Granted, skin color plays a major role, but it's not the end all be all. There's intersectionality, and like you beautifully said, a white passing Jewish person will never have the same experience as a Black Jewish person.
Absolutely not. Oh my God, no. Oh my gosh. my sweet people. They suffer so much. They need you guys. They need you guys because they're the ones who have to hide, honestly, because as I cannot speak for their experience, I can only repeat what I've been told when talking to my friends. It is hard enough with being a person of color or a Black man or woman in America, around the world. Around the world, it's hard enough being a Jew and Black. Like, can you imagine? Like, you've got, like, here in America, you have the Klan after you. You've got the Aryans after you. You've got the anti-Semites after you. It's insane. And now, like, you come, like, imagine being a Black trans woman coming to the gay community, and you're Jewish on top of it.
You get attacked from everywhere.
Right? You see this shit going down. All these Jews and their allies getting stomped with ridiculous, like, any critical thinker can look at these things and go, what? Like, okay, anyways. But still, it's they run away. Like, my friend will not come on. She won't come on Twitter. She's scared, and I don't blame her. I wish she would. She would be a wonderful asset to the community. She's brilliant. She's smart. And she's all the things that make America, the world, amazing. She is all the things. And she is the biggest target. And she's like my main person I fight for. There's nobody more oppressed that I know of personally, I should say, than my friend. So we have to fight anti-Semitism, or people of color. Black people will not be able, indigenous, they won't be able to come out freely and say, I am Jewish. My mother is Jewish, or I converted because I married, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, we can make it better. We just got to get these fucknuts out of here. I'm sick of them. Oh my God.
So now,
shit. Record that shit, you little bitch. You fucking tiny penis, anti-Semitic fuck. So sick of. I'm gonna tweet at you because nobody's paying attention to me. You pussy.
Exactly.
Grow up. Yeah, fuck.
Anyone who sees people calling a Jewish woman, a Jewish man, a Jewish person, Gestapo, and Nazi, just the level of sickness. Just speak up, say something. It's 2021. It's not all in good fun. It's like in the States, you already had people wearing T-shirts saying 6 million were not enough. And
Auschwitz, they were wearing those shirts too, along with their stupid Klan shirts. And oh God, I hate this place sometimes. But that doesn't mean it has to be in our community. Like, it doesn't have to be, because when you see it, they don't like being called out. They don't like, you see how mad they get? They really don't like women calling them out. You notice that? They get big mad. So you see that word misogyny a lot? That's why you see it. Because they want to be right. They want to be loud. But fuck you. I'm a Jew. And guess what? I'm a fucking DNA Jew and Irish. I will fuck you up. I married a Greek. He will fuck you up too. By the way, my husband has some words for the piece of shit who keeps attacking women. You just wait. You just fucking wait.
Disclaimer for the chat. Greeks are bad news. Do not mess with us. Do not mess with us. There's no way you can win. No fucking way. Probably the most stubborn. The most passionate people worldwide. Like, no, do not pick on me. Do not pick on me. Like, there's no way you can win. There's no way you can come on top. There's no way I'm gonna quit. There's no way I'm gonna get away with any of your bullshit. Let me see what Ariana says, because understand anti-Semitism if they don't see how it is racialized type hatred of Jews. Anti-Semites see Jews as having this.
Yes.
Let's not just talk about the like most common noses. Okay.
Exactly.
Which was something that the anti-Semitic account targeting Here for the Tea used against her as well. Okay.
Yeah, we've got big noses. We have hidden Jew gold that we keep in our bags around our necks. Yeah. That's the South Park stuff, you guys. It's hilarious. It's funny, and it's fucking true. And it's how they were getting the message out. Like, you watch it, and you're like, that is so ridiculous. No way. Yes, they are that fucking ridiculous.
Exactly. And disclaimer, don't be making fun of people's noses. It's bigoted as fuck.
Dude. Like, go look up Jewish stereotypes, and everything that you're going to see it. That's just big noses and hairy, and they're all hunched over and look very evil and wicked, and they want your money, and it's so foul. And guess what? All the pictures are always white, because they don't want you to know that there are other races. That's why, I can't remember the comedian's name. He came on and said, I fell out of my mother's vagina, and she's Jewish. I'm black. Guess what? I'm a black Jew. It's that. That's all there is to it. But I don't think they want you to know that. They don't want you to know, because then guess what? They get a whole other set of allies. Exactly. A whole other set of allies. But the black community can get involved and say, yes. Because I think we all know somebody who we can't quite understand is hanging out with an alleged Nazi. But as a Jew, I think I have the right to tell you that the person I've been claiming is a Nazi is a fucking Nazi. He's a fucking neo-Nazi. They are the new Nazis. They're not the old kind. They're not marching around with their hand out doing stupid shit and like burning books. They are converging online. They now have access to each other worldwide, and they are getting better. Thankfully, we have really stupid ones in our community. We have really dumb ones. So while they're annoying and they derail, they're super easy to clown. Oh my God, you see them. Look at their theories. Like, I'm a racist for calling out someone claiming to be a Jew? You're a fucking idiot. Exactly. And get out of my fucking business, bitch. If you're not a fucking Jew, get out of my fucking business when I'm talking to another Jew. How about that? And guess what? If you have Jewish heritage and your mother wasn't a Jew and you fell out of her clown hole, you aren't a Jew. You can convert and become a Jew. You can practice being a Jew. Don't fucking say 2 days ago I found out my grandpa's a Jew and now I'm going to argue you. No, you're not, bitch. Not on this fucking watch. You fucking golem. Sorry. Exactly.
First of all, let's discuss something. Let's discuss something very important about Judaism values. Since I started this journey 2 years ago, and this is the next thing I would like us to talk about, how we met and how our relationship evolved. But here's what I wanted to say, that okay, I'm stuck right now because I'm reading at the chat. I'm really sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. I was actually just looking at Dre's question. I was going to answer it really quick. But what Nazis have the benefit from that hate is why Ellie was starting her series on anti-Semitism, the longest hate. It's the long going, and they they hate us for reasons from thousands of years ago all the way up to the fact that they tried to wipe us out, and we are still going. It's all about white superiority. They think they're fucking better than us. So when I'm going around talking about women of color, and like, yes, I am white, but I am Jewish by DNA. My father's Polish. I have Ashkenazi. I'm like, I will fuck you up. Don't you come at me with this fucking, I was a Jew 2 days ago. I'm sorry, I did it again.
Exactly.
You know I
so
yell those names out.
I'm gonna go on a limb and share a couple of things. I don't know if you want me to share them, but I will. So then you can cuss me out in private DMs. But I know, because I've been friends with Rosie for a long time, that she's being targeted because she's Jewish multiple times. Her residence has been vandalized more than once. And also, when she was targeted on Twitter because of her affiliation with me, she was also met with attacks from anti-Semites. So being Jewish is a lot more than just having Jewish DNA. It's like having the Jewish experience, so to speak. And okay, I just remember what I was trying to say earlier, thank God, that Judaism is so unique. And this is one of the reasons why I love it so much, because, okay, many people, when this darn thread that I wrote on anti-Semitism 2 years ago, because, okay, I do realize that some of the people watching us come from different socials. So, you know, we need to give some cliff notes. So a couple of years ago, I reached out to a Jewish woman that was doxxed by a neo-Nazi. She was targeted by anti-Semites, and I offered my help. And I told her, you know what, I'm going to write a thread, and I'm going to outline your experience, and I'm going to give some leads as to what's been happening to you, but mostly bring awareness to how horrific the reality of anti-Semitism you have to experience.
It was really bad.
Okay, it was extremely bad. Yeah. So that was about that was in 2019. Okay, and I spent a lot of months working on it, and people, you know, will ask, well, how do you know, and why do you care, and why this and why that? Well, because I come from a whole different reality than most people that I know online. Most of my friends online are Americans. I was born and raised in Greece. I'm European, so we have a completely different history. We have a completely different grasp of everything. So, you know, when I saw this woman being targeted, it kind of felt like the cause chose me. I didn't choose it. I didn't choose, you know, to be so vocal on anti-Semitism, because the cliff notes is this, that how I entered this whole online community. I had just been through a stillbirth. So I was full term, 9 months pregnant. I had a stillbirth, and it was so shocking to me that, you know, it stopped my entire reality. It was so traumatic that once it took place, the trauma was so huge that for actually a few months, I could not even articulate myself. I could not even form sentences. My ability to use oral speech was severely diminished. So I was looking for a way, you know, to keep my mind preoccupied so I could get back to normal life, right? So what happened is, like, you know, I'm going to turn into something fun. I'm going to pamper myself. I'm going to get into makeup. because it's harmless. It's just makeup, right? So
Right.
I start watching makeup videos. And I start playing around with makeup, and then I get suggested by YouTube different makeup drama videos where I find out about this Jeffree Star guy. And immediately, by the way he talked, the way he held himself on camera, I knew he was a vile person. So, me by nature being inquisitive, I start looking him up. And I found out that he was a lipstick Nazi, that I found out that he had several rape allegations around his name. So
he's the coolest.
Exactly. So, I had time. I needed to keep myself preoccupied. So this is a pretty painful story for me, because I was at a point, Rosie, I was at a point, and I'm sharing this tonight with a lot of people, and I know some douchebags will use against me. I was at a point where, from being an English language instructor, I couldn't even formulate a sentence. And I'm saying this with so much pain in my heart.
I love you so much, Ellie. I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve any of that.
And I was just looking for something fun. So, I was watching makeup videos, and then it went to makeup drama videos. And I found out about this Nazi who is allegedly a rapist. So, I'm like, fuck that shit. And this is when I joined Twitter, and I'm looking around, and this is how I first found out about you, because many people don't know. They use it against me. Like, they bring up in different Jewish women, I love Steve. This is the same time that I joined Twitter, about the time that I love Steve joined Twitter. That was in 2000. That was in 2018. And I clearly remember back then that LFT was fighting nonstop with Here for the Tea, another Jewish woman, the Jewish woman that was doxxed. And I also remember that because I didn't know exactly what was going on, I was mostly reading tweets. Like, I wasn't really participating in stuff. But I knew that, Rosie, you were talking with LFT because you were both Jewish. Like, I was mostly lurking, if you like. I was mostly lurking. So I remember one day they were talking about the bias of bigger drama channels. If I'm not mistaken, it was Manic Hispanic. They banned her. At least they banned that account.
Right.
But I remember that you liked some kind of tweet that was saying that, the drama channels, they're so biased and they're not going to talk against Jeffree Star.
Correct.
And Manic Hispanic had tagged a few of these drama channels, including LFT, the Jewish woman that, you were cordial with. And I was watching all of this because I was still getting accustomed to the community. I didn't know all that much. I mean, I knew that Jeffree Star ain't shit, but I didn't know much about the people participating in that community. And I was like reading around. I was trying to, find my tribe, if you like. So I remember very clearly back then that you liked a tweet, Rosie. I don't know if you remember the incident, but I remember it very clearly. You liked Manic Hispanics that was calling out bigger drama channels against their bias on Jeffree Star. And I remember that Elle Loves Tea, the other Jewish woman that we're referring to, she called you a snake for liking that tweet.
Mad boy, she was mad. Ooh,
yeah. And I was shocked.
I meant it. They weren't. They were not calling him out because they were afraid of the backlash. And while I get that, say it with your fucking chest. If you're going to be a coward about it, then be a coward. Be like, I don't want the backlash. Cool. Don't tell me a fucking snake. Like, I mean, I don't know everything that went down with Elle, because at that point, I just told her, I was actually very polite at that point. I said, that's how I feel. I don't think she had her fans, her stands, like, attacking Here for the Tea fans. That's when I started, because they started, I saw them going at, I think, Harley Jen and
that was her first video. That was her first video, and I remember it very vividly that it was against Here for the Tea, and that's why it struck me as being like so odd. And maybe if not today, down the line, we are going to have a conversation how I still support Elle.
Yeah,
just absolutely. For being Jewish. I still support her 100%. But it struck me as odd how her first video was against another Jewish woman that wasn't cool with, Jeffree Star, because Elle Loves Tea, to me, and nobody can talk me out of it, is an extremely, extremely intelligent woman. So
absolutely.
In my eyes, there was no way she couldn't see that Jeffree Star was corrupt. Now, I have my own theories why she sided with him, but this was the exact time that I joined socials, because I was mourning the loss of my child, and I was just watching around mostly and trying to see where I could fit in. All I knew is that I didn't like Jeffree Star, but I could see the dynamics. I could see that Elle would attack Here for the Tea, another Jewish woman, nonstop because of Jeffree Star, the lipstick Nazi. And then I distinctly remember the moment you fell out when she called you a snake for just liking a tweet. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to need to take a step back, because I don't understand what's going on here.
Right. Like, yeah, I was just done. I'm like, okay, cool. I said, you know what? You don't talk about me, I don't talk about you. And that's exactly how it went down. And because that's what you do. We don't have to like each other. We can agree to disagree. But I'm not going to, why would I come after her for being, like, if she were some other religion, I would be like, oh, you're doing that because of you worship this. That's fucking stupid. But she was very mad at me.
Oh, wow. I remember that, like, she went off, and I was mostly lurking. Yes, I was mostly lurking back then. I was mostly lurking because, I had my own deal. I was mourning my own child, and that was also held against me. Like, why didn't you speak against anti-Semitism, like, when you were mourning your own child? Like, bitch, shut up already. You know nothing about me. And that's why I say that it chose me. I didn't choose it because I was trying to keep my mind preoccupied. I was at a point where, my situation was so bad that, I kid you not, I would sit outside the car, look at the car door, and didn't know what I had to do to open the car door.
Oh, honey. I'm so glad you're sharing this. I'm so glad you're sharing this, because people didn't know, and you were getting attacked because Ellie doesn't go on Twitter and just start immediately, like, looking for pity points. When have you guys seen her doing that? When she has to bring up something painful from her past, it's because she's been attacked. If somebody has brought it up, or somebody took that information and used it against her. It's like, you see those morons, they get on and whine and bitch about the stupidest fucking shit. And here's Ellie just trying to stop this racist, anti-Semitic nonsense. And they get the littlest information on her and they fucking used it against her. They gave it to that fucking Nazi, you guys. They gave that information to that Nazi and his fucking apologist to take her down. Like, who makes a video about somebody's fucking kids because of a title? They are sick, you guys. Like, Europeans, people around the world, they aren't fucking like us in America. They have children running around naked because they aren't a bunch of fucking perverts. They don't let pedophiles run for office and win like in other countries. So her having her children on there, why would she think anything bad would happen? It didn't until those fucking bitches targeted her and blasted her fucking baby's channel. And then guess what happened? The thing that they said would happen started fucking happening because they directed those fucking perverts to her channel. So, like, let's keep it fucking real and 100. I get that many people saw what fucking Allie was saying, what that fucking thread was saying, and going, oh my God, maybe these kids are in trouble. But we don't talk about people's fucking kids. All you had to do is go look. It's a title. And because she wouldn't change it, because she got blasted, that make it make sense. Why did her babies get put under the fucking microscope? Because for what? And they knew about, many of them knew about her fucking loss too, because some bitch who should be keeping shit private didn't. And she shared it. She shared her fucking trauma. So now when you guys are in this, and she didn't come on Twitter and fucking like let it all out. I'd have been on here going, you fucking, she, like, can you imagine that horror of seeing people telling you that because you put up a video of your babies playing and loving and helping each other, that you want pedophiles to your fucking channel? Dude, don't let people do that. You guys, don't let people talk about other people's kids.
It was like the point when this happened, Rosie, it was the point where I said, you know what? These people are so corrupt to the bone that they will stop at nothing to hurt anyone innocent. And this is when I said, you know what? Because by nature, I'm Greek. I'm a stubborn bitch. Like, challenge me. There's no way I back down. Probably you know from your husband. But especially Greek women, don't mess with them. Like, don't fucking mess with them. There's no way they back off. There's no way they will, shy down. There's no way this will happen. But yeah, that's how it all happened. So I'm just trying to distract myself, and I'm following this Jewish drama channel here for the tea because she was the only one who was calling out Jeffree Star. And in my eyes, she was right. It was like, hello, lipstick Nazi. Hello, he's a rapist. He's a Nazi. Why not? He's a racist. Everything. Like, he's vile. Why is everybody attacking her? So here's how the story goes, guys. I had her notifications on, and I was watching all of her tweets because I wanted the tea on Jeffree Star. Like, I wanted the motherfucker taken down. Like, I'm not gonna hide it. Like, who doesn't want a Nazi taken down? Nazis, right. Only Nazis.
Yeah, right. People making money off of Nazis.
Exactly. So I was an avid follower of her tweets, and I was reading all the comments and everything. And I remember one day I'm reading a tweet of hers. I don't remember exactly what the tweet was. And of course, because I wanted to keep up with the tea, I was reading all of the responses. You know what I'm saying? So I'm reading one of the responses, and there's somebody doxing her, and there's somebody that says, so I'm so happy to expose you, blank, blank, her full legal name.
Ooh, yeah.
And the avatar of that account was a Hasidic Jewish man. So I'm like, holy fuck, that's an anti-Semite.
Mm-hmm.
So I do not follow the account because, many people followed that account. It had over 300 followers, mind you. And my question to this 300 plus followers is, how many of you motherfuckers have proof of your reports to Twitter? That you reported that, because you know who was following that account? Ali, of all people.
Isn't that interesting?
Exactly. Like, do you have proof? Like so many other people, but I'm not even going to get into it. But I mean, that's how it started. Like, I was going through the gigs. I had my own issues. I was trying to get myself together, keep my brain occupied, so to speak. So I went into makeup, and from makeup, YouTube dragged me into beauty drama for some reason. And then all of a sudden I discovered Jeffree Star. And then all of a sudden I just run
That's exactly what happened.
and then all of a sudden I just run a quick Google search, and I figure out that this fucking guy is a rapist and a Nazi. So I'm like, okay, let's take that motherfucker down. Who is against him? I find out that Here for the Tea is against him, a Jewish woman. So I follow her on Twitter. I turn my notifications on. And as I'm reading my notifications, I realize that one day, boom, somebody's doxing her. From day one. I knew it from day one. Okay. And I see, like, there's this account with a Hasidic Jew revealing her entire very, very, very Jewish name. And I'm like, holy shit, what's going on here? So, of course, I do not follow the account, but I save the handle and I check for their tweets every now and then, like, to see what they're talking about. And then not long after that, to my surprise, of all people, Elle Loves Tea confronts that account. Elle Loves Tea, the Jewish woman that would usually go after Here for the Tea. And she actually calls the account of anti-Semitism. I don't know if you remember that. She was the first one, and I give her 1,000% full credit for that, like, integrity for that incident. 1,000%. Elle Loves Tea called it out. Like, this person is targeting Here for the Tea because she's a Jewish woman. And I listened to the lady, and it's not like I particularly love the lady because she was a Jeffree Star fan, but she made a good point. Like, she was right. I couldn't argue with her. I couldn't argue with that. Like, there's a Jewish woman telling me, that's an anti-Semitic account. So there's nothing for me to argue about. Like, okay, I take your word for it. And then I pay notice. Like, I mean, you're right. Why does he have a Hasidic Jew's picture? And of course, then it's like a quick Google search away where you find out that Nazis are the ones that actually dox Jewish people online to bring about harm to them. So it wasn't all that complicated. And then the more that account was tweeting, and that's what most people don't understand, the more that account was tweeting, the more everything clicked. Like, obviously it's a raging anti-Semite. Because, here's the thing. There's a different type of education going on in the States, and there's a different type of education going on outside of the States. Now, may I remind you that I'm a Greek. So let me also remind you that we also have to study history for, like, thousands of years ago. So when I see an account using Roman busts that colonized Greece and Judea, then, well, yeah, I'm not going to doubt it. Of course, it's an anti-Semite. Like, we learned that in school. Also, a Jewish woman said that, this is an anti-Semite, obviously. So what's there to argue about? And this is how it all started. So I was noticing that account, and Rosie, nobody was saying anything, honey. Nobody.
Nope.
People were actually having fun with that account. They were following that account. They were trashing here for the tea. It's like, bitches, this is a raging anti-Semite that at best wants this woman hurt, if not dead. And you're all having fun with it because you don't like her. She can be a bitch. She can be whatever.
Yes.
But fuck out of here with that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yes, please. The point. Like, you want to fight me? You want to call me names? You want to, call out my behavior? Do it. Why are you attacking my race? Why am I a white rat? Why am I the Gestapo? Why do you have to go down that road? Yeah,
exactly.
And it's that's how it spreads. And people think it's funny. That's what happened to Here for the Tea. Because so many people hated her. They didn't care that she was getting doxxed, but what they didn't understand is that doxer was driving neo-Nazis to her accounts by putting in certain words. You can go, and in her thread, she was showing he was putting hashtags. Those were dog whistles. Whistles to alert other neo-Nazis.
So this is what happened, because I know many people who are watching right now, they're part of the drama community, but they have no idea how it went down. So here I am, little old Ellie. I'm just a plain Jafar hater, Jeffree Star hater, and I was following a Jewish woman that was the only one who was willing to call him out. And I realized from day one that there's a raging anti-Semite doxing her, and not just doxing her, but he's just trying to get her hurt. And I'm like, holy fuck, what's going on? So I'm keeping an eye on that account, and I'm seeing people, including Angelo, including Josephine, rejoicing. These people now claim they're all against anti-Semitism, and some of them claim Jewish ancestry. What kind of Jewish person with a Jewish ancestry would say that what was happening to Here for the Tea was rightful karma? Explain that to me.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Like, why would you want somebody of your own religion, race, culture to go, I'm glad they're making fun of you for the shit oh my God. It's insanity, you guys. They're so fucking crazy.
So I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? So it was obvious who were the people that were happy about that doxing. The happiest of all was Angelo. Angelo was the happiest of all. I'm saying it out loud. And Here for the Tea even confronted him. And he had his nose all high up and saying, do you have proof? Why are you accusing me? Motherfucker, I don't care what you do or what you don't do. But when you're telling me that you're of Jewish heritage and you're saying that a Jewish woman is targeted by anti-Semites and being doxxed and her life is in danger because of that, and you're saying that's rightful karma, then fuck out of here. You're a Nazi. You're nothing else.
Nazi.
That's what you are.
Like, and where did those 10,000 people go, you guys?
And fuck you and your mental health. Fuck you and your fake triggers. Fuck every single thing you say. You know what? If you feel bad about it, if you regretted it, move the fuck out of this community, because you're a vile, fucking, disgusting person. I don't even care what your heritage is. All I saw at first, because do not let me open my mouth and reveal more right now, because I could. And people poked me a lot of times. Give us all the evidence. I do not owe you shit. I gave all the evidence I had to the people that were doxxed, because it wasn't just Here for the Tea that was doxxed. It was my friend Jen that was doxxed. It was my friend Kismet that was doxxed. There was a whole bunch of people that were targeted. Leah was targeted. You know what? They're all friends of mine. All friends of mine. You know who was the only... who were the people that rejoiced with that doxing account? That anti-Semitic doxing account? Using Roman busts? Using Hasidic pictures? Angelo!
Ooh, this cocktail's good. Get the taste of that.
And Josephine.
Right now.
Angelo and Josephine. You know who retweeted that account? Paige.
Who retweeted that account?
Paige. You know who revealed financial information about Here for the Tea's car? Here for the Tea's house? Paige.
Paige
Not
did.
me.
Nope. Like, look it up. Don't fucking believe them. Don't believe us. Don't believe them. Look it up. It's there. Everything's fucking, unless they deleted it. Again, where did those 10,000 tweets go, Angelo? I thought you were having a mental health moment, but you had time to delete 10,000 fucking tweets.
You know what, Rosie? I don't even care about his 10,000 tweets because he was very clear about his background in those 10,000 tweets. And he can cry mental health or all he wants.
Yeah, I'll cry over mental health of a fucking Nazi when I cry over a Klan guy. Or Derek Chauvin in jail. I'm isolated.
I don't even care. Let me tell you something. I don't even care if he's just complicit, as his friend Tanisha says, the corrupt nurse. I don't even care. You know what? When you're claiming that you're of Jewish heritage and you're rejoicing at the anti-Semitic doxing that targets Jewish women, and the doxer uses, whatever. I'm trying to be politically correct. You know my stance, because if I wanted to make my life easier, I would have retracted 2 years ago, Rosie.
I know. Like, who would want this shit? Did you make money? No. Did you get sponsored?
I made nothing.
No.
I've been attacked.
For Ellie, you guys. She got fucking stomped for stepping up and helping out those fucking Nazis. And what did they do? The same thing they did to Elle. They fucking harassed her and ran her off. Exactly. The minute she started opening her mouth, all of a sudden, she's getting bullied. And then she's gone.
Here's the thing. If you claim that you're of Jewish ancestry and you understand all of his whistles, because he also claimed that in his 10,000 deleted tweets and plus. And then you claim that, I didn't see that it was an anti-Semite. Motherfucker, what?
But you have Jewish ancestry. What? You didn't think to look? Like all of these Roman things and Hasidic Jew, but like, no, didn't think to look, Angelo.
The first picture the account used was a Hasidic Jew. Honey, you know what hashtags they used? White supremacy. Honey, yes. You know what they made fun of? Sam's nose. Honey,
there you go.
So you didn't see any of that? And all you could tweet was that it was rightful karma for a Jewish woman to be targeted by white supremacists. Fuck you sideways.
Could you imagine that happening to another race? Could you fucking imagine the backlash? This is why we want to educate, because it's infuriating that this asshole went away. And we were good. I was like, he's gone. Fuck him. Bye. But pay attention. A few somebodies paved him a fucking path back to this community.
Exactly.
Literally. Like, they made a way for him to come back, and he came back like, la, la, la. This is my best friend. No, neo-Nazis never use minorities to make themselves look innocent. That never happens. Oh, my mental health, blah, blah, blah. If you're not a fucking Nazi doxer, why are you freaking out, dude? Tell me what's going on. I am a Jew. Why did you fucking block me before I ever spoke to you? Make it make sense, you dick. Because I took part of the fucking thread, I didn't even know it was you. You outed yourself, you stupid Nazi bitch. That's what they do.
Can you, Rosie, can you tell me, why you didn't know it was him? Please say it. I don't want to say it. Can you tell me why you didn't know it was him?
I was following Angelo.
Did I name anyone in that thread?
No, that's the fucking go to the thread. I heard it first on another drama channel that was interviewing Here for the Tea. That's what I first heard. And then I was like, what the fuck? Is that why he went batshit? Oh my god, you guys! Like, it all went down, but nobody could pay attention to it all if they didn't know what was happening. Because these poor women who were friends with Here for the Tea have been getting fucking stalked and doxxed forever. That's why they're mad. That's why you see these women out there going, fuck you, and using all the words they do. Because they try to do with, like, you know, professionalism, I guess, courtesy, and they got fucked. Like, we all got fucked by the fucking nurse, didn't we?
Everyone
got fucked by her. She took that bitch. Oh, do you really think it's Angelo? In my DMs. I'll release him. Fuck that bitch. You were best friends with him. You were acting like you didn't fucking know. I said, yes. I believe Angelo is the Nazi. I believe he is a Nazi, not an anti-Semite, a fucking neo-Nazi, like with what he posted. She never mentioned they were best friends. She kept talking to me to get information, and she knows I'm Jewish. Really? Guess who? Oh, girl, you know why I want to, like, that's not even the worst of what she fucking did. The worst what she fucking did was what she did to Ellie. For Christ's sake.
Exactly. And for those of you who don't know what the Nazi's best friend did, she pretended to be a friend of mine. And when I was mourning the anniversary of my late daughter, she was in my direct messages asking me questions about my dead daughter while she was in other group chats trashing the shit out of me and telling everyone what a vile person I am. So for that, be rest assured, and please let it sink in and understand that the cause chose me. I didn't choose it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, because y'all remember, Ellie walked away. She went to her kids' channel. She was done. Like, she was going to walk away and take a break. Like, she was getting her ass kicked left and right. She was going through so much, and she just wanted to do something good with her babies and share with her friends on YouTube and Twitter. And those bitches came in. Why? Why did they fucking do that? Because they're anti-Semites. Because they hate her. Because she fucking defends us. It's that simple. The same reason.
Exactly.
For probably the same principles that, you know, white supremacists hate black people and all of those isms combined. It makes no sense. They're just hateful fucks, and they want you to go away. They want to see you hurt. They want revenge because they don't fucking like you. You're not white enough. You're not fucking, you're a race traitor. Oh my God. It goes on and on. Yeah. Oh my God. Fuck him. Sorry. Woo. I wonder if
it's so much to unpack. Like, it's so funny because you remember, like, we had an outline of what we were about to say, but there's so much to unpack. Like, we could sit for days and days and days and talk about anti-Semitism just in the makeup community, that worships the lipstick Nazi, in the makeup community that worships Scott Von D with her selektion lipsticks and whatnot.
Yeah, like, and seriously, as always,
in the same community, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, in the same community that finds it acceptable for years on end to portray the single big Jewish beauty drama channel as the puppet master, and everyone cracking jokes around it. You know what? I talk with Jewish people every day outside of the beauty community. That's what they don't understand, that my life does not revolve around Twitter. It does not revolve around Twitter. I talk with Jewish people every fucking day of my life. And when I tell them, I like makeup and there's so many anti-Semites in that community, like, the reaction I get, Rosie, is what? Like, yeah, anti-Semites wear makeup. What's surprising? But yeah, it's so hard for people to grasp that there are entire makeup brands owned by Nazis, that there are entire makeup brands that actually push products named after, horrific events of the Holocaust. That shit happens. Yes, that shit happens. And when you try to talk to these douche nozzles in the beauty community about anti-Semitism, you know what they say? That you're the crazy lady of the beauty community because you hate Jeffree Star. Hell yeah, I hate a Nazi. Hell yeah, I hate that Nazi. What's crazy about it?
They just think it's a name, like he's just being kitsch, he's just being problematic so he can sell. No, he's a fucking Nazi.
They wouldn't say Nazi. They wouldn't say the same thing if the makeup Nazi was targeting them. But anti-Semitism is the only acceptable form of bigotry, and I'm so tired of it. And it's like, you poked a Greek enough. It's like, there's no way I'm going to stop talking about it. Like I was telling you yesterday, if I have to do backflips with a G-string to make people listen to me about anti-Semitism, I'm going to fucking do that.
You asked me to remind you, we were going to present an example of how somebody who is not Jewish excuses other people from being anti-Semitic, which is a big problem in this community, with friends just going, oh yeah, there's no way you're anti-Semitic. And I'm like, I don't think you get the right to say that. I believe it was, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you still want to talk about that? Or bring her up?
Yeah, I do. So here's the thing, that this whole saga, and I hope you want to talk about it in more lives. Like, I'm crossing my fingers that this will become a podcast with my Jewish guys extraordinaire.
I curse a lot, so I can imagine people would come in and be like, "What? She just won't shut up." Sorry.
Like, I mean, crowd pirate, always. It's actually the mildest reaction you can have with Nazis. Like, please punch them. Please punch them.
It's almost a weekly story around my parts. So it's punch a Nazi. People will forgive you. People will bail you out. It's really great.
That whole story, Rosie, taught me something, that it doesn't really matter, but when you go against anti-Semites, you're in for a surprise. Because, okay, let me calm down a little bit, because I've been yelling too much and my nose is stuffy, and I'm hating that they're using their voodoo dolls against me. So fuck you all anti-Semites. I'm gonna be better next week, I swear.
I'm going to try and use a little less booze so I can keep track of my thoughts while I'm ranting. Yes.
But yeah, what I realized, Rosie, is this, that it doesn't matter when you choose to speak up against anti-Semitism. there's no way I can prepare you for the hate you're about to get. So
Yeah.
when this whole situation started with Here for the Tea, and let me give the cliff notes again, because I'm really, really hoping that my new Jewish friends from all other platforms are going to be watching this later on.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
So yes, it is awesome. Like, life is good. It doesn't revolve around Twitter. So get over yourselves, you cocksuckers. But the thing is that I, I was dealing with my own trauma. So I joined a community that I thought would be completely harmless, like the makeup community. I realized that there was a lot of anti-Semitism going on. There was a Jewish woman being like horrifically targeted for months on end, almost like an entire year. So I kept track of all that harassment, and I saw that people are actually enjoying it. I was paying attention to everything, but like I said, I also had to go through my own personal issues with my dead baby girl. So, but I was still watching because I needed to keep my mind preoccupied with something else. So I was watching an entire big ass community actually enjoy horrific white supremacist anti-Semitic attacks against the Jewish women just because they thought she was a bitch. Well, I can relate because I'm a bitch too, but that doesn't mean that I deserve to be, put in danger and my life be put in danger. So I'm, I was keeping note of everything, and I'm seeing that nobody does shit. Nobody speaks up. I cannot, and I'm 100% serious about this. I cannot recall a single fucking person in the entire fucking community, apart from Elle Loves Tea, the other Jewish channel that was usually against Here for the Tea. Apart from Elle Loves Tea, nobody spoke up against that account. In private, the only people that actually reached out were the bigger drum channels, like Nick Snyder and Dustin Daly. That's why I'm not going hard on them when it comes on anti-Semitism, because I knew that they were not on board with that shit. And I also know that, especially Nick, because I tried contacting him and educating him, he wasn't interested. So I'm not going to shove it down his throat, because you know what happens? You shove education down someone's throat, he's going to be using it against you. He's going to be using it against you. So no, you don't want to be educated? Okay, cool. I'm not going to educate you. You want to be trash? You're going to own it? Okay, cool. Yeah. Have your life. Like, I have other people who want to be educated, so why waste my time on you, right? But they were definitely not on board. The ones that were specifically enjoying that entire situation were three. They were, namely, Angela, Josephine, Paige. These three. They were enjoying it to a fault. And Ali, who was also following that doxing account. So, and there were also other accounts that were, raising suspicions, because there were talks behind the scenes. Definitely, you can imagine that. So I reach out, I'm like, girl, what's going on? I can see what's happening. And I'm like, nobody's helping. Can I help you? So I'm starting, because I had all the time in the world back then, because for the longest of time, it caused me some serious disability, the loss of my daughter. Like I said, I had a speech impairment, and it was detrimental to me, because I was teaching English as a second language for a decade. I was teaching debating skills. I was teaching writing skills, and I was actually helping people improve their pronunciation, like people who had problems with dyslexia, people who couldn't pronounce certain sounds in English. So it was like very specialized, and I couldn't do any of that because of the horrific shock that my brain had to go through. So the only thing that I could do was, just read a few tweets and, do some makeup, I guess. So I'm watching all this go down, and like, why does nobody care about anti-Semitism? Why are they so happy about it? Like, weren't they affected during World War II? Because my family, and I've said this repeatedly before in different lives, that my family was very affected by the Nazis. Actually, the Nazis tried to exterminate the Greek population because they didn't consider us to be like the Aryan race.
Yeah.
Because, yes.
We were white enough. And Allie's pretty, I mean, I'm sure she gets lovely with her Mediterranean skin, but Ellie's pretty
exactly
white. But they would have taken her out in a second.
Well, if I,
like, no,
if I keep myself out of the sun, I'm as white as it gets, but I only need a day to get like a super dark tan, like, make no mistake. So I guess because the whole ideology of, you know, Hitler was that Aryan race was, you know, the ultimate, let's say, phenotype was subscribing to Nordicism, like blonde hair, blue eyes, super pale skin, pink undertones. So us Mediterraneans with the olive undertones were not good enough. So we deserved to be exterminated and whatnot. I have quite a few stories from my family to share, probably in a future life and whatnot. I've lost family members during the Nazi occupation of Greece, which I've talked about before, but I guess nobody cared about it. Somehow, though, I should shut up right now because somebody decided that their grandfather or their family remembered that, you know, they were also affected. And it's not exactly how it works. Let me tell you how it works. Since I got myself into this deal for the very plain reason that nobody else cared about this woman getting doxxed by a neo-Nazi other than me, nobody spoke up publicly. There's not a single evidence outside of L Loves D speaking up against it. And I will never stop saying it. That's how people do not care about anti-Semitism. That's how bad it is. That's how bad we need allies for this cause. Like,
yeah, like, go after,
you know,
that's exactly what you say too. You say, you know what? Sam is all she's a bitch, she be whatever. You can call her, but leave her fucking race out of it. Why bring her fucking religion, her culture into it? It has nothing to do with it. Nothing. And certainly her being Jewish has nothing to do with her finances. It has nothing to, like, please don't let that stereotype, like, I was brought home to a single wide trailer with a hole in the floor because my father was in the army. We do not get born into money. We are not trying to rule the world. I'm sure somebody is, but the majority of us are just like to argue. Honestly, we love each other and we argue. That's what Judaism is. We discuss. We talk about God. We argue with God. That's what we do. So when you want to know why me and Allie are like clicking, it's because we want, because debate is fun. Not when you're super drunk. Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to loosen up for the live. But truly, it's, if you're, so Karma's asking, what are specific signs they should look for when trying to see if someone is an anti-Semite?
Can I give the first sign?
Yes.
They're dumb. They say something extremely stupid. Make no mistake, every single time they say something extremely stupid, like Angelo, who was defending his right to be in a chat, to be in a chat with a 15-year-old.
Yes.
Like, they will defend something stupid to death. You know you're dealing with an anti-Semite.
I found that most anti-Semites have very little concern for children. Because I don't know, like, that is one of the most horrific parts of the Holocaust, guys. I know it's hard, but They don't care about kids. If you're not white, they want you dead no matter what your age. So anti-Semites, people are not inherently anti-Semitic. They just don't know some of these darker, deeper ones. So they may be inadvertently spreading it without knowing.
Yeah.
Like I was saying,
that's way too common.
Somebody's referring to somebody's finances and being Jewish, right?
Like Paige.
Nothing, like who?
Like Paige. And
like
this is
Paige.
Exactly who said that Sam was living like in a certain $1 million house and she was driving a Bentley. Like, how is that any of your fucking business?
Yeah.
Like, and why wouldn't you say that for anybody else? Like, sit down and think about it for a minute, because that's a stereotype that they've been pushing for hundreds of years, that Jewish people are the ones who control money. Like, but let me introduce you to a whole bunch of broke Jewish people then to break that.
Like, the pandemic did not help any of us, I'm sure. But it's also, so if you hear something ridiculous being said and it's just like a stereotype. Listen for the stereotypes when they talk about, oh, well, you know, Jews, blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing as a fucking racist saying, you know, in any race is this. Like, you know, Jews are greedy. That, you know, they're greedy misers. That is a stereotype. So if you hear somebody saying stuff like that, they're probably an anti-Semite, but you should still correct them. Say, that's not true. That's a stereotype. You should stop saying that. Normal people go, you're right, I was mad. I've been guilty of it. I didn't realize I was saying a microaggression on Twitter to somebody. It's still up. I didn't take it down because I didn't realize and I was fighting with her. And when she corrected me, she told me she felt that was microaggression. I immediately said, I'm sorry. I had no idea. That was not my intention. I was definitely trying to play a childish insult at that time. But I was not intending to infer to you and your race in any way. I apologize. Yeah. And that was like literally the end of it. We didn't even go back to the fight. It was like, I can take the L when I did something I didn't realize wasn't okay. It was like, she didn't read what I said. And I was like, do you need does your mom need to buy you some Hooked on Phonics? Like, she felt that was very microaggressive, and I can see it. So I apologize. And
exactly.
That's what normal people do when you correct them about anti-Semitism, right?
Exactly. And any form of bigotry, like, I mean, I don't understand why people feel it's so shameful to admit when they're wrong. Like, it saves you so much time to say, oops, my bad. I've been an asshole. Yeah, all right. It happens. I'm not perfect. I was an asshole and I'm sorry. And there's nothing I can do to fix it other than apologize and not repeat it. But Crappy Parrot here makes such a great point.
Oh my God, so many.
And I want to dive into it. Crappy Parrot says they'll either be racist against someone else, they'll hate women. They always remember, guys, 99% of the time, Nazis hate women.
They hate women. They hate strong women for sure, and mouthy ones.
Especially strong women.
Burn like witches.
Especially if you see a man fighting like really hard, a strong woman, like, keep your guard up. Like, that's a huge red flag, because white supremacy and Nazism go hand in hand.
Yes.
With misogyny. 100%. Yes. Nazis support male supremacy. Let that sink in. Women are always inferior. So that's like a huge red flag. People.
Even if you are white, if you go Googling for, there are stories of women who got out of the Klan, who got out of the Aryan Brotherhood because they were so demoralized. They were promoting, they were sewing on all the fucking patches, I guess, because like I guess Aryans can be Girl Scouts too. Fuck knows. But they were doing all of the like wifely girl things, and then their men would come home and, well, surprise, you're getting abused because your man's a piece of shit. Everybody. They don't fucking care. Aryans, neo-Nazis marry other races. Let that sink in. Abso-fucking-lutely. An Aryan will marry somebody who is Black, Indigenous, person of color.
Absolutely. They will always.
It's a great cover. It's a great cover.
Exactly. Because Nazis will always use other minorities to do their dirty work, be it women, be it like people of color, be it LGBT. They will always use other minorities to do their dirty work, to take the backlash so they can sit back and relax. That's like one of the most common tactics. Like you see a white man surrounded especially by minorities and women and you name it.
Isn't that strange?
It's like, super strange.
Unless they're like some sort of incredible advocate they're trying to protect, who gives a shit about a fucking white man's opinion anymore? Honestly. Like, why are you getting in women's business? We've like made that clear. You're not welcome anymore. So exactly. Why are these men on fucking Twitter, these fucking, like, I'm not going to say the word, are stalking us? You guys have seen it. I know we're catty. I know I get fucking mouthy. I know I get on my fucking soapbox. It's because I hate them. But let me just be clear that I can't help but poke these assholes sometimes because they're so fucking stupid. Look what they're posting. It makes no sense. None. No. They're moving goalposts so fucking far. I'm shocked they're not drowning because they've ended up in the Pacific. It's like they're gone. They're gone. They're like, oh, I can do all of this and you can't. I'm not a racist. I'm not a bigot. But let's talk about you, Jew. That's what they do.
Know your place, Jew. Know your place, Jew. So pay attention to these people. People who will say, you call everything anti-Semitic. These are anti-Semites. It's like I call things anti-Semitic because anti-Semitism is everywhere. Like,
and it's important to say it. It's just like all the movements that are happening right now. There are some like you guys can and I would be appreciative if you did. Go look at my timeline. I don't promote myself ever when I'm promoting and when I am echoing or boosting any other movement ever because it's not about me. But look at these other fucks. It's always about them. Who are they? Yeah. They're not even helping their own people on their timelines. They're too busy attacking Ellie and Kismet and everybody fucking else. Who are they doing good for? What messages are they sending to like help their people? To you know how many indigenous accounts I follow? I can tell you I follow more than somebody. I can tell you I talk directly to them. I can tell you I know how honorable and amazing, beautiful that culture is, and somebody that is one doesn't match their values at fucking all. I'm disgusted, and I hope fucking no wonder he's staying so fucking anonymous. Could you imagine? Could you imagine those fucking amazing and honorable people finding out the kind of shit he's doing to women?
It's disgusting. Can I pick it up from here and add something and add a parallel to this conversation? So we've talked about certain values of a different culture. I want to drive the point back to Judaism and say that a Jewish person, because I've been talking to so many Jewish people lately that, well, I'm not going to say anything more. But a Jewish person has the mentality of, guiding you and offering you their help. I cannot name an exact number of how many people said, since I got myself into this whole mess and I told you here for the tea, I'll help you out with your doctor. I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know how many anti-Semites were out there. I'm going to say it out loud. Like, I've been eaten alive for 2 fucking years. They're not leaving me alone. They've attacked me. They've attacked my husband. They've attacked my kids. They've attacked my mental health. They've attacked my finances. They've attacked my sanity. They've attacked anything you can name. And they are growing in number. And their tactics are becoming more and more gross. They've been asking me about my dead daughter. They've been attacking... Yep. Anything you can imagine, even the fact that I usually do not answer my phone because I get too many spam calls, because I don't know, maybe it's not common in the States, but here in Australia, it's very common. You give your phone number to the wrong company, then you get like tens or 20 or 30 calls a day from different companies trying to sell you things. So if I do not recognize a number, usually I do not answer my phone. I've been attacked even for that, Rosie. I've had my words dissected, every fucking single word I say, and turned around. Every account I retweet as if, I'm like, I have the time, or I have the brain space to look deeply into everything that goes on the world on Twitter, and I'm responsible for, combating every single instance of anti-Semitism, because since I reached out to Here for the Tea, and this is how it went down. So I reach out to the Jewish woman that was doxxed and tell her, you know what, I'm going to write a Twitter thread and I'm going to outline your struggle so that people understand what it is like to be the target of anti-Semitic abuse. Okay, and anti-Semitic doxing, because I was already quite popular for my threads on Twitter. Many people know that. Like, I already had quite a few followers that were actually very devoted to my threads. They loved them. So I'm like, that's all I can do for you. That's all I can offer you, because I see that nobody else wants to say anything. Maybe they don't understand how serious it is. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I will write something about it. I will outline your experience. Okay, so I'm starting to do that immediately. The minute I start writing about the anti-Semitic abuse, I'm getting attacked left and right, being called every name under the sun, being called crazy, especially attacked by Ali. She was the first one that was attacking me. Along with reality. And we're going to talk about reality in our next live, if you don't mind. But
sure.
They were the ones that went in for the kill. And since then, it's been like, I'm on my second year where I've been getting such vicious attacks for pointing out the simple fact that the Jewish woman was doxxed by an anti-Semite. I've been called every name in the book. I've been shredded to pieces. There's not a single thing about myself, about my life, that hasn't been attacked, about, my existence as a person. I've been accused of being the doxer. I've been accused of being an anti-Semite. I've been accused of being a racist. I've been accused of being a pedophile. I've been accused of being a Nazi. I've been accused of being a horrible person, a master manipulator, an evil lady, a crazy lady, a demented lady, a psychopathic rat, a bitch, a cunt, a hoe, delusional, evil, framing people for gain. And it's like, this abuse hasn't stopped for 2 fucking years already. Okay, we're counting the second year. And you know what would have been the easiest thing for me to say? Okay, guys, maybe I I pulled an oopsie and I didn't understand it correctly, so I take it back. At no point did I do that, because I'd rather, and listen to that carefully, I'd rather rip my tongue out than apologize to anti-Semites.
Like, why
I'd rather die than apologize to you motherfuckers. I will never apologize to an anti-Semite.
Who's gonna apologize to a Klan member? Who's gonna apologize? Nobody. Why would you tell somebody to apologize to someone they think is a neo-Nazi? Eat a dick. That's what you can do. Sorry.
Listen. Being clear about it, and I was on Karma's panel. And actually, I had a discussion with one of the accounts that they've been going off on me for over a year, and it's like they were demanding apologies from me. So I'm like, okay, I apologize to you for the things that I've done that hurt you. And it's like, no, but you know what happened? Then they, like I said, they said, no, you have to apologize to the neo-Nazi. You have to apologize to Angelo. And I'm like, no, kill me. Fucking kill me. I'm never going to apologize to an anti-Semite. Fucking kill me first. I'll never do that. Never.
Can you believe
never
that?
In your life. Never.
I want an apology. I'm not going away. Okay.
I'll never apologize.
Here's your apology. Oh, well, now you got to give one to the Nazi. No. I wanted to get rid of your psychotic ass. But not gonna do it to the fucking Nazi, you twat. Oh, yes. Did I think? Oh, honey, I love her so much.
Shani, can I share one more thing publicly? So after I wrote that notorious, because that built me a notoriety. Like, since I wrote a thread on fucking anti-Semitism, pointing out anti-Semitic dog whistles, people think that I'm, I don't know, Caligula or something. Everybody's afraid of me. It's like, she's that evil genius, Ellie. Like, what? It's like, it's just anti-Semitism and I'm trying to explain, no, you're evil. Like, wow. So I've built quite the notoriety around that thread just because I tried to defend a Jewish woman. But I guess whatever rocks your boat, if that makes me so fearful, then so be it. But I want to share an incident which stuck with me. After I wrote that thread and after reality tried for days on end to derail that thread by calling me out for different extremely stupid things, and there's people that have been around and can verify that. After some time, I'm being attacked by some of reality's friends, Shani, and they're telling me that I do not care about anti-Semitism because, and get this, because one of my mutuals on Twitter, I hope we all understand what mutuals means, somebody that I talk to on Twitter that I've never met in real life, and, you know, we exchange tweets. They're not even around anymore. So they say, you don't care about anti-Semitism because one of your mutuals on Twitter said that they wanted to send reality, and I have screenshots of all these interactions, the gas chambers, and you said nothing. I'm like, what? When the fuck did this happen? And I'm standing there in awe. And you know what crew that was? It was, I remember it very vividly. It was under Saya's tweet. And the people that were actually confronting me were one of then reality's best friends, Georgia, and one that is still around, one of Angelo's best friends. And you're going to have to, you know, forgive me because I do not remember their handle. I never check for them. But they were all telling me, Ellie, you don't care about anti-Semitism because one of your mutuals on Twitter said that they wanted to send reality to the gas chambers and you didn't correct them. I'm like, well, when the fuck did this happen? Are you serious? What? And turns out that what happened was that reality was being actually in an argument with MJ, one of my mutuals on Twitter, and MJ called them pretty much a Hitler. So I'm thinking, when was Hitler sent to the gas chambers, first of all? So
when?
That was like what?
Fucking reaching, you guys. The reaching they do to fucking
I kid you not, real story. Send me some thumbs up if you want a thread for it. Like, I have all the receipts where they were telling me they're completely gaslighting me, and they're telling me that one of my mutuals said that reality needs to go to the gas chambers. And I'm trying to wrap this around my head because somehow I missed that interaction, but it never actually happened because MJ was trying to say that reality was so authoritative, and I'm trying to be nice. I'm not going to call them a dick, but they were being a dick. So instead of calling him a dick, they called him a Hitler. So they turn it around and say that, your mutual wanted reality to be sent in the gas chambers.
For fuck's sake.
Hitler.
Uh-oh. I don't hear anything new. We've talked so much. I like breaking up or something. I don't know. I don't hear Ellie. I'm here. Wait for my Ellie or find somebody to fucking drag. I know, honey. I'm so sorry. I'm sure she'll be back. It's her channel. Yeah, it's pretty deep, and it's been going on a very long time. Oh, this is a problem, you guys, because Ellie was here to keep me in check to make sure I don't, truly, I don't, God, I fucking want to get rid of these anti-Semites so much. I don't, know how to make this stop in the community when I can't get certain people to lay off while we're trying to get the information out. Rosie Realness, I love you so much. So you know what? You are so lucky I don't have my phone in front of me because I would seriously be dragging and shopping right now. There's that Natasha Denona palette. I'm looking at it. I'm going to look at it. Okay. Anyways. What? So, you know what? I saw a question actually about Jewish princess. It is a stereotype. It's actually came after World War II, I believe. It's basically, and it implies two things. They also use the acronym JAP, which we all know also means something else, to say Jewish American princess, but it implies that Jewish women are pampered and they're materialistic, very selfish. It was basically a way to stereotype Jewish women after the war, So don't if when someone is saying JAP, which nobody should say, by the way, but if they're saying that to a woman who looks white and you're like, that makes no sense, they're probably calling her a Jewish slur. Yes, crappy pirate. You and Ellie, your knowledge is sexy. Makes me happy. You know I want to call names and drag. I'm trying to be a good girl a little bit. This is my first live. I don't know how you guys are fucking awake, man. I think
I'm back.
you don't want to know Ellie's back.
Okay, so I missed something. I guess I have to rewatch right after the live is over. I don't know what you've been talking about.
I actually took a question from the live about explaining the slur Jewish American princess.
Okay.
So we just went over that, and Crappy Pirate is impressing me with sexy knowledge. So.
Very nice. Yeah. I'm very happy. Very happy.
Knowledgeable. We love that.
Crappy Parrot is like one of a kind, but I'm mad at him because he has yet to follow me back on Twitter. Like, Crappy Parrot, do something. My tweets are locked. I've tried to follow you, unfollow you, refollow you. Like, you have humiliated me enough. Just follow back for fuck's sake. Like, I need your wealth of knowledge.
Yes, please.
But
Ellie knows more than me. But on Jewish history, on like ancient Jewish history, when she was working on her documentary or docuseries and asking me questions, I was like, what? Let me go send that to somebody smarter. So I sent it to like 2 doctors that I know who are devout. And they were like, what? They were like, she could write a whole thesis on that subject alone. And I'm like, can you give me pointers? And they were like, yeah, good luck. So, Ellie is incredibly knowledgeable. Anybody calling her an anti-Semite or a Nazi? Like, you guys, seriously? Okay. Like, can you guys just start laughing at these people? It's the funniest shit I've ever heard. The woman posting every anti-Semitic warning people. Oh my God. She's a Nazi. Oh yeah, because that's what Nazis do. They give away all get out their playbook. She is an evil genius. Okay,
right? I mean, there's so many things I want to say. Maybe I should split that live like in different parts so that people can watch it. But it's so interesting because I want to share that little story of how people started calling me evil and why I have the avi that I have. First of all, I was never a super religious person. I always from a very young age believed in archangels and angels, and I prayed mostly to archangels and angels. I do believe in God. I was never sold to Christianity, even though my mother was very, very religious, because for some reason, even though she was so religious, it didn't seem to be helping her be a better person, but nicely. Yeah. So I wasn't really sold. Plus, I couldn't really compartmentalize all of the quote unquote miracles I was expected to take as a given that the practice is based on. And I actually admire the people who have such strong faith and they believe.
Right. Yes.
But it wasn't something that was ever my cup of tea. Actually, my first daughter was baptized only because my mother insisted, and she covered the costs of the baptism. Otherwise, I would have never done it. Like, it's not something that ever interested me. It wasn't, like, so to speak, from a very young age, I had my own opinion on everything. I had my own set of beliefs, and I was, and I was never one to be stirred by others. Like, I was never a follower, if you like. I found the right word. I was never a follower of anything. I was always very mouthy, like how you see me now. I was always like that. I remember when I was about 14 years old, I called the school principal a clown in front of everyone in the high school. So that was always me. Very, very rebellious, very, unconventional. And I always needed to research and examine things. I wasn't one to blindly believe. But that was a moment. Maybe another day I will tell you why I called him a clown, but it was a moment for the entire high school. I gained notoriety, like probably worse than that fucking thread that has been haunting me for 2 years. But yes, I've been calling clowns for years. Like, I swear to God.
Ooh,
So,
guess what, Ellie? Guess
what?
Somebody's lurking.
Okay.
But Mel's in here, by the way. She's unable to type, apparently. But she has informed me that somebody's lurking. Hello?
Well,
did you get out of your basement, you little piece of shit? Oh, you touched your ass, baby. Good for you.
So I get it.
Promote those issues too. It would be good for you.
So I get it. They're not a friend. They're not a friend. Then they can suck a bucket of dicks.
Yeah. Pair off, bitch, or shut your fucking mouth. How about that? Why? Did you know you're gonna get busted? But anywho, tweet away, little fuck. The only reason I see your shit is because it's laughable and somebody sends it to me. You notice I don't have you blocked, you pussy. I don't have you blocked. You know why? Because I'll confront you. You know why you have me blocked? Because you are a bitch. That's why. You are nobody. You are dishonorable. You are disgusting. You target women. You target children. You target minorities. And then you go around claiming you're getting cyberbullied. What are you for? You fucking, my dad's better than your dad. No, my dad's better. How dare you talk about my dad? Bitch, you started it. I'm sorry, I'm yelling. You started it. Nobody gives a shit about you. Do you know that? Nobody. Nobody gives a fuck what you have to say. We're laughing at you. Do you really think anybody thinks I'm fucking racist? Except for you and your clown squad of anti-Semites? Good luck. Good luck proving it. I live my life like I fucking tweet it. For real. I will post my medical bills, bitch. I got beamed twice at 2 fucking Black Lives Matter movements. And I got a concussion at one. What were you doing? You were in your fucking basement jacking off in your little fucking tiny pee-pee. Shithead. Fucking keep tweeting about me. Living rent-free in your fucking head. This Jewish fucking goddess. You wish. You wish you could have this, but guess what? I'll bring my husband in here right now. You know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to get dick. I'm going to get laid. Not everybody's a sexual person. But I bet if you are, you have never been laid. Because you are miserable. Nobody who is happy does what you do. Nobody who has a happy life does what you do. Just leave women alone. Leave me alone. If you never tweet about me again, I will never, ever speak about you. And that's why you won't stop, you lonely little fuck. You won't fucking stop because you need the attention. And you want it, negative or positive. And you know what's even sadder? Is you have the DMs. You have our DMs. Release them all. You know why I haven't released them? Because you told me private information. You told me private, personal, mental information, and I would never fucking release it. Not even on a piece of shit like you. But all you can do is move goalposts. I'm following an account that fucking murders people? Are you serious? Are you serious? Unblock me, bitch. Unblock
Rosie.
me.
Rosie,
Dude,
can I pick it up from here? Can I pick it up from here?
Yeah,
Can I
I'm
pick it
sorry.
up from here? Because that whole entire crew use that logic of you follow A, B, C, D, E, F account that's doing this and that, as if we have no life like their crew. And we check on every fucking single account that we follow and what they're about and what they say and what this and what that.
Right.
Like, let me tell you something. For the past few weeks, on all of my socials, I've been blindly mass following I don't know how many accounts because I've been desperately trying to move to a different community. So I just follow suggestions from different socials. If I see something that I don't like, I unfollow. Some of them, they don't use their accounts. And I'll go back then to that very same logic that some of their very friends were actually following cartouche. So take several fucking seats because I will start name dropping who was following that vile neo-Nazi doxing account. And they're all your friends. They're not my friends. They're your friends. Not my friends, your friends. So if you want to play that game, and if you think that we're following or endorsing someone that we're not supposed to, then say so. But you know what? There's only bad faith arguments from that side, only tearing down. There's no education going on. There's no, helping each other out to grow. The only thing that they grow on that side are pimples and triple chins, nothing else. So...
it's not even anger. It's just complete. I'm flabbergasted at the stupidity.
I fuck out of here already. Yeah. So what?
Go.
I mean,
you're making yourself into a fucking Nazi, dude. Look what you've done. Look what you've done to yourself. Seriously. You've gone so fucking far just trying to get Ellie. One woman. We all know you're obsessed with her. You can deny it till the cows come home. We don't
I know he loves me. Baby, come to Australia. You might get some pussy. Come over.
And he is fucking broken about it. And he can't stand it. He's made it obvious. This is not a guess in the dark. Why does he keep coming for this mother of fucking baby? Why? Because he's a fucking stalking misogynist neo-Nazi.
Exactly.
Tweet that, bitch. Tweet that, bitch. How about that? I'm not going to see it because I don't fucking look for you because you blocked me. I don't care. Why did you block the Jew? Why did you block the Jew? Because you're a fucking bitch. I'm sorry. I have lots of really good, digs, but I'm trying to hold them in. Yes, you know he's watching. You know he's watching. He's getting off right now because I'm talking about him. Even though I'm calling him a little shrimp dick piece of shit, he's like, ooh, I got me some negative attention. He pulled out his little tweezers. He's gone down on his little fucking TV, and he's going, pull it out, bitch. Everybody wants to see what an inside-out one looks like. Come on, panel, and go live. We'd all like to see your belly button.
Honey, when you have the temperament and the head shape of an angry bird, I want nothing to know about you. Fuck out of here.
I know. Yeah. I would hate to stereotype myself, but, it is what it is. I got to say what I got to say.
I mean, and that's what this channel is all about. We love drama. We love cussing out anti-Semites.
Yes,
Rip the asshole of an anti-Semite tonight if you can. Punch a Nazi in the face if you can today. Not tomorrow. Today. Now.
Can we do this again? This is so much fun. I want to do this and roast Nazis and anti-Semites and pull up our seats and have drinks? Because I think that's just been the problem all along. This has been a 2-year ordeal and longer. And people who came in like 6 months ago, even a year ago, are just seeing like you ladies and me going fucking at these assholes, and they're like, these fucking women are insane. But they didn't know. Like, you guys got doxxed. They got doxxed. They were fucking put in danger by these assholes. They go after their children. They went after Ellie's children. Hell yeah. If Ellie's gonna call people a fucking bitch, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, whatever she wants, because they went after her kids, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, she can. Those are her babies. Fuck you. I would do the same thing for anybody else. Don't fucking come for their kids. Is that me being bossy? Good. I'm a bossy bitch, and I'm a mandatory reporter. If I find out you're fucking around with your kids, you better believe I'm fucking reporting you. I don't fucking announce it on live. I don't announce it on shit. I will go straight to the fucking FBI. I don't care. Don't fucking do bad things to your kids. Don't fucking, that one bitch, she was beating on her kid. Oh my God, because of that Jeffree Star palette. Remember her?
Amazing. Yeah, crazy.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes. Oh my God. So like,
how much you want to bet that she's an anti-Semite? How much you want to bet?
I'd say
how much you want to bet? You know what? Because I don't know if Crappy Parrot is still around, but I will keep saying that till the day I die. Anti-Semitism is the root of all evil. This is where stupid conspiracies start. This is where like the basics of racism start. This is where religious persecution starts. This is where different stereotypes that apply to financial status, that apply to different kinds of beliefs, whether it is left-wing, right-wing, not political, apolitical, atheist, everything. You have it in anti-Semitism. You grab some stupid form of bigotry, the root is always in anti-Semitism. That's why when you start giving passes, it's like, I believe that societally we say, Jews are not that many in the grand scheme. Like, take the world's population. So, okay, anti-Semitism is not that big of an issue. But no, it is, because it's so old. And this is where most stupid, bigoted ideas stem from in our society. And this was something that I wanted to bring up earlier, and I lost my connection, unfortunately, that there was this joke going around that I was this evil lady because, I was, since almost day one, I was calling out things with my account. And then I started writing threads on Twitter, and it started growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there was some graphics designer girl, and she really liked my presence, I guess, on Twitter. So she took a Halloween picture that I had where I was dressed like a devil because I was like having a birthday party with my girls. Yeah, we were all dressed up for Halloween, and she, made that Avi and pictured me as a devil. And since then, it stuck. It stuck with my presence that I'm the devil lady, and it evolved. And they were started calling me like evil and master manipulator and genius and this and that. And I'm the type of person that will not get insulted when you actually call me names, and I will actually embrace it and clown the shit out of you. So that's how it started, and that's why I made it like my brand. That being said, people actually spreading all that information pretty much brings it back to what I was trying to say, that how easy it is for people to be sold into different conspiracies. That, let's say, because of a Halloween costume that I wore some 3 years ago, I'm the evil mastermind genius that controls the entire beauty community, and everybody must hate me because, I'm very opinionated. Like, and that's what Jewish people have been dealing with for thousands of years. Like, some stupid fucking clown sees something, they create an even sillier conspiracy, and it sticks on the entire Jewish population for millennia. And it's so hard for me to wrap my head around it. But yeah, that being said, after I got involved into this whole saga and this whole mess, and I decided, to write that notorious thread that got me into a whole world of pain and zero gain, I actually received a whole lot of messages of people that did actually have some Jewish ancestor, be it a father, a mother, a grandfather, a grandmother, and they were not connected to that whole side, let's say, of their identity. And that was one of the things that actually kept me going, because little old me, what did I want to do? I just wanted to buy some eyeshadows, some lipsticks, and take Jeffree Star down, the lipstick Nazi. I didn't want to do anything else. So I don't know how I even found myself in this whole mess where the anti-Semitism authority in the makeup community, where people started sending me messages for every single thing they thought was anti-Semitic, like, and how people were demanding of me to address every single form of anti-Semitism that they perceived in the community, including the incident I was trying to describe earlier with my mutual, where she called reality Hitler, and then they translated it into my mutual saying that she wanted reality to be sent to the gas chambers, which is pretty repulsive in and of itself, because that's pretty much equals Holocaust minimization. Like, it makes a mockery of what actually happened in reality. So you can do that shit and then turn around and say that, Ellie's an anti-Semite because her friend called me Hitler, and then she addressed her friend only when I asked her to. You know what? I'm nobody's parent. I'm nobody's mother. I'm nobody's father. I'm not the authority of anti-Semitism worldwide. I'm not the authority of anti-Semitism in the beauty community. Even if I see something that I have the energy to address, that I have the time to address, I will gladly do so. And sometimes if I have the range to address it, because let's face it, anti-Semitism has so many different forms that I believe, in my very humble opinion, it is almost impossible for one person to know them all and to recognize them all and to, reprimand them all. Like, I'm not the person that can actually do it. Actually, I wish I were, but I cannot. Like, I can only do so much. I'm a single person. I saw there was one woman that was severely being targeted. There was a whole group of douchebags that were having a party, seeing her being targeted by neo-Nazis. The people that were happy about it were pretty much Petty Page, Angelo, Josephine, a couple of others too. I'm not gonna name them right now, but it's all being documented. People keep asking me for receipts, prove this, prove that, prove the other. And in the grand scheme of things, I owe nobody nothing, because if I am living rent-free in your head, that's because of you. It's not because of me. If in your head I'm the absolute master authority on anti-Semitism in the makeup community, that's on you. It's not on me. I offered my help pro bono to a person that was actually suffering, because I could see what was going on from day one. I could see who were the vile, disgusting creatures that were rejoicing in that situation. I will never forgive them for that. I will never stop calling them Nazis. So please stop trying to censor who uses the word Nazi, because we saw that too. it was pretty obvious who was happy. And there's no apologies that can be made at this point, because this was not a single day harassment. This was a type of harassment that was going on for about a year. So you cannot tell me that all of a sudden you're sorry. No, you're not sorry. You're sorry you were caught. You're sorry that your ass is exposed. And that's that on that. And are you triggered? Are you hurt? Are you, I don't know, are you sick of it? I don't care. It's none of my business. My business was that I offered my help to another human being because they were targeted by those vile human creatures called anti-Semites, which I will always and forever hate for various reasons. Not just because they targeted me, not just because they destroyed my family, not just because they destroyed my country, but because that's what they deserve. That's what they deserve in the grand scheme. Just sit down and think about it. We're talking about people who actually think that because of their twisted sense of what their DNA makeup is like, and in some cases, not even their DNA, it's not their sense of grandeur, their sense of entitlement. So that's none of my business. That's none of my business. These are your own psychological issues. Go and solve them. I offered my help to a particular person. At the time being, they accepted it. It was a very traumatic situation, especially for them, way much more for them, but also for me, because to this day, a second year counting, I'm still getting attacks, violent anti-Semitic attacks by certain people. And here's the thing. I will not retract what I did. I will never apologize because I did it from the heart. I did what was right. And do I mind the abuse? Yes, I mind it. I mind the abuse. I don't like being targeted. I don't like my husband being targeted. I don't like my children being targeted. Like, I wish I could just like go about my day and happily tweet about, I don't know, different blushes and lipsticks and makeup and stuff.
Oh,
but
the good old days, man. The good old days. Before I got on Twitter and found out what a piece of shit people are. But I'm glad I did. That's how I found out about Jeffree Star, honestly.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
But Rosie,
So, yeah,
honey, I wouldn't take it back. I will not take it back. Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, and this is what got us together. This is what brought us so much closer, because I told you, I noticed you the minute that Elle Lovesty called you a snake. And I'm like, why would she attack yet another Jewish woman after Here for the Tea? Because, you know, at that time I was vigilant about everything because, like I said, I had already seen what was going on with the doxer, but I was pretty much lurking because I was dealing with my own personal trauma. So, but I was seeing everything. And after I published that thread outlining different anti-Semitic dog whistles, it's been a world of pain for me and nothing else. Absolutely nothing else but pain. But am I going to take it back? No, I'll never take it back. I'll never take it back. And that's because, like I said, the cause chose me. I didn't choose it. Because, I mean, in life, I do not believe in coincidences. I also don't believe in karma, of course, but I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that we need to trust the path that life pushes us to. And that whole situation just opened my eyes so much more to see that actually Jewish people go through so much and nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cares. And it's not like they just don't care. They actually are happy that Jewish people are getting tortured and discriminated against and persecuted to this day. And it's something that will never sit right with me. It will never sit right with me, and I will never accept it. And since then, I've had so many people who actually had some Jewish relative, but you know, they had to distance themselves from Jewishness, so to speak, because the abuse that comes with it is like horrific.
Yes.
And
There were
it was
many Jews during the war, when they fled Europe, came to America, went to other countries, and they hid that they were Jewish. They stopped, like they couldn't stop being Jewish, but they stopped worshiping. They hid it because they were so scared of getting deported back to Nazi Germany, of like getting deported back to their countries and getting picked up by the Gestapo. It was like, it's horrible that these people had to hide their beliefs, their love, because people wanted them dead.
So that was one of the things that kept me going, even though every single thing that is me, that makes me myself, was viciously attacked. There were still people coming to my direct messages and they were saying, Ellie, you actually reminded me of my grandpa. So how can I take it back? Like, I can't in good heart take it back, Rosie.
You can't. I know, baby.
No.
It's okay. I love you so much. Oh my God. You've been through so much. They just don't know. I know. They just don't know, honey. That's the problem. That's been the problem. It's like only the people who are close to you have had to watch everything you're going through. You're not a Jew. You're just, and that's the other part. She's a white woman. She is the fucking perfect target for these people. Like, she's standing up. She's doing exactly what I've asked her to do. She was doing it before I asked her. She's being an ally. She's an ally to everybody who is marginalized. And like, this is what she's getting. Why is she being attacked? Because she responds? Because she's getting fucking shit on and she's like, fuck you, anti-Semite? And then it's like, oh, Ellie's a bitch. Ellie's evil. Oh, Ellie doesn't want to be in your fucking group chat, psycho? Go away. Go away, you little fuck. I know you're still lurking. Got no light. Sorry. Go ahead, Ellie.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just mad at them. I'm so mad at them for how they fucking treated you. It was awful.
And
awful.
And you know that it will not stop, because it only opened my horizons, and you and very few others know exactly what I'm talking about, which I will not go public with. But yeah. Thing is that sometimes in life you just choose a path, and sometimes some paths are like particularly hard to walk, and I guess that's my choice. So I cannot really keep complaining about it. Like, the easiest thing for me, as I said, would be to say, that's an oopsie, let me just take it back and move on with my life. But actually, everything that's been going on keeps me drive. I'm talking to so many people. Actually, when I was writing that thread on anti-Semitic dog whistles, I was so nervous that I didn't want to get anything like seriously wrong. So I contacted the local Jewish authority here in Melbourne, and I had them proofread it for me. That's one of the things that nobody knows. And they actually asked me to write an article about this whole situation. And because of all these attacks, I was never in the right headspace to do so. But I get so many mixed messages, like especially right after I posted that piece. There's so many people asking me about anti-Semitism and dog whistles, and other people asking me about their late Jewish family members, and other people that are actually Jewish and are like, how come and you care? Nobody cares. Shut up, Krabby Parrot. I do not speak Australian English. I speak American English. I studied in New
The
York,
grammar police are
Melbourne.
here. I keep it happy pirate.
So yeah, like I mean, if one could have a look at my direct messages, and like one of the ways that I get to release some of that tension is like to joke around with people. Like I joke a lot. Sometimes I come off really silly, but I have so many people constantly talking to me about anti-Semitism, anti-Semites, and this happened and that happened, and left wing, right wing, and Arabs, and Europeans, and Americans, and Nazis, and this and that. And it's like, and oh, well, we should go out one day, Crappy Parrot, but you need to follow me back on Twitter so we can DM, you know, wink, wink, you know. So, yeah. And there's one last thing I want us to talk about today, because I don't want this to be over 3 hours long. I guess I'm going to have to put in the description that it's advisable to watch it in double speed. But I want to talk about the...
So we're like, oh my God. Can you imagine me at double speed? I'm sorry, guys. I apologize in advance if you come back and listen and you're looking at this at double speed radio. I probably sound like so.
honey, we'll get the hang of this. I swear to God. Like, you see, we want to talk about anti-Semitism in the makeup drama community, and like we can sit down and talk about it for days. Imagine that people expect me to talk on every instance of anti-Semitism that there is out there, but not just that, they scrutinize every single word I say, they dissect everything I say, every single account I follow, which, by the way, yes, I do mass follows because I'm trying to get rid of that fucking makeup community, because you're all fucking insane lowlives, apart from a few. But
like, hey,
yeah.
now.
But yeah, I follow whatever accounts. And okay, two things before we go off today. The first thing is that what I do not appreciate is that I see people trying to conflate anti-Semitism with political views. Like, oh my God, so you support this right-wing publication, or you retweeted that left-wing person, or you name it, or you follow that account, so hence politically you must be that, which equals you're an anti-Semite, which is the most repulsive form of spreading misinformation. First and foremost, because anti-Semitism is everywhere. Okay, there's right wing, there's left wing, there's like religious anti-Semitism, there's non-religious anti-Semitism. Yeah, like you pick. There's like something that fits any sick mind out there, that they love their little conspiracies and their stupid mind games and stuff. Like, I'm 1 + 1 = 2 person. It's like I think for myself, but most people are not like that. So when you say that, think this: how many Jews do we have in the world? Is it about, let's say, a maximum, okay, 15-ish million worldwide? Most of them, where are they? They're in Israel. So most of them there, and you know where I'm driving my point right now, Rosie, right? Most of them,
I do.
To be in Israel, they're Zionists. So the fact that I'm advocating for anti-Semitism and I'm openly a Zionist, which means I support people that, you know, they believe in the state of Israel and self-determination of a Jewish nation as a people. It does not define my political views. Anybody who knows me, like for any amount of time on socials, you know, guys, how I am. I'm an equal opportunity hater. I hate almost everyone, like no exceptions. Okay. So for all I care, American politicians, they're all trash. Like I can criticize all of them. I have criticism for all of them. Okay. Same with Australian politicians. Same with, well, politicians in Israel, I don't even know their politics. I could care less, to be honest. Like, I mean, I do know that they have the same political system as in Greece, but let's face it, I was born and raised in Greece. I have voting rights in Greece. Do I vote in Greece right now? No. Is it possible to vote? From what I know, no. Probably I would have to go to the embassy or the consulate, but I'm not going to do that with 3 kids. And I'm not going to keep up with Greek politics. So yeah, my point is that when you see me supporting someone who is, let's say, pro-Israel, it does not by any means define my political views, because like I said, I have no problem, and I think all of you in the chat know that, letting you know who I like and who I dislike. So, for example, let me simplify it for you before I get into the bigger picture. Let's say I have my friends and they all they love a person that I do not like. I'm going to tell them in their face. Be it a mutual, be it a friend, be it a YouTuber, be it a politician, I'm going to drag them for filth, and I don't care. And I think all of you know that. And I've never hidden my likes and my dislikes. And I also never asked for anyone to agree with me. Like, if I like you as a person, or if I want to support you as a person because I feel you need support, that doesn't mean that you're immune to my criticism, or that the things you support are immune to my criticism. So Krabby Parrot makes a good point. As soon as Israel's president loses his office, there's a good chance of being charged with various crimes that he has committed while in office. Yeah, I've read some charges of corruption. And here's the thing, Krabby Parrot, I don't know much about Israeli politics. I'm not going to talk about Israeli politics because I'll never vote over there. It's none of my business. And that's a distinction I want to make. When we're talking about anti-Semitism, it's not a political issue. Right. This is what I was trying to drive home. Like, I don't care about your political views. I can tell you right in your face, no matter who you are. I don't care who you are, how big or how small. I'm going to tell you in your face, that's some grand bullshit that you're supporting. And I'm going to give you a whole fucking list of reasons why I believe you shouldn't be supporting it. And then I'm going to let you be. I'm not going to demand that you agree with me. And I think that everyone in the chat who has spoken with me in private can say so. Rosie, you know it. Have I ever forced you to drop anyone, even though I have talked crazy shit about people in private and given you a whole bunch of reasons why I don't like them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Never.
You've never made me choose. Ever.
Never.
You've never made me feel like our friendship was dependent on who I was friends with. You let me learn on my own. And I did. And I needed to start that process, because boy, did everybody start showing their asses really quick after that.
Exactly. So here's my point. I see that since I started, being more open about being pro-Israel, people think that they know my political views. Like I said, my husband calls me the name of one of the most radical leftist women in Greece, because I go ham on him. Like, I do not spare him. And I do not even follow Greek politics all that much anymore. Like, I do not vote right now because I'm in the process of being in, I will very soon apply for citizenship, but I'm not even voting here in Australia. So I'm not involved in their politics. and I don't have a say. So if I don't have a say, what can I do? Like, I can bark in the air all I want. But my point is, and what I'm trying to say is that when we're talking about anti-Semitism, it's not a political issue. It's a societal issue. And it's an institutional issue, regardless of the political situation of any place in any country. So if I say that I'm fighting anti-Semitism, for me, as Ellie, as a person, it means that I choose, even though I disagree with some Jewish people, like a lot of Jewish people, on many of their views, that I will still support them and I will fight the anti-Semitism that they have to face. Because the fact that Jews as a people have been scapegoated for millennia naturally makes me think that I should not be the one further persecuting them. Seeing, after what I've seen, like, there was this one woman, this one Jewish woman that was targeted, and the world was out to eat her alive. And there was like undeniable that the people hurting her were in the wrong. You know what? They didn't like her. They didn't like her views. And I completely respect that. But still, wrong is wrong and right is right. So please do not try to assign any kind of political ideology when it comes to anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism comes from all sides, from all places, from all levels, from all races, from all countries, from all, you name it. And the fact that I say, you know, I'm standing beside Jewish people, there's no way that I will add on to their persecution. Like, there's already too many people doing that. And that's not something that I can do. As me, as Ellie. And now I want to pass this on to you, Rosie, because we've talked in private extensively. So Rosie is pro-Palestine and pro-Israel. Like, I don't give two shits because she's the love of my life. She's my Jewish goddess. And that's what you people need to realize, that anti-Semitism has nothing to do with politics. Nothing. No. So stop trying to enforce political views on a phenomenon that is so widespread on every single spectrum of life and politics and everything else. So yes, it's possible for everyone to coexist. We can support everyone equally, and everyone deserves advocacy.
Yes. Everyone. Supporting people is not supporting the government. Like, let's keep that here. I can love and support my people. I can love and support the Israeli people, and I can hurt and feel pain and support the people who are being slaughtered on the other side of the strip. It's awful. It's awful. But I have my own personal feelings about it. But that does not take away my love for my people or Israel. I pray one day I can go. That would be amazing. But beware, if you have been anti-Semitic online and are caught, you will be banned from ever entering Israel. That is, like, even in the U.S., no matter where you are in the world, it's I can't remember the name of the site, but Claire was posting it the other day. If you are an anti-Semitic group and they find you, even as an individual, your name goes on the list, you will never see Israel ever. You are forbidden for life.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I have to look up the name, but if you have time, check it out. It's a
Oh,
trip.
I'll check Claire's page. You know, I love her, and that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing. Like
I do too. I
they're
love her.
Zionists that live in Israel, they actually get attacked all the time by anti-Zionists, and that's being used under the guise of, we're criticizing Israel, we're not criticizing Jewish people. But then you see that criticism starts going out of hand, and they start getting called names like your ASCIIs. Like, for those of you who don't know, they mean like they're white Jewish people of European descent that are, white, so they're privileged. And then they take it one step further. So if you're white, you have to be right wing. And it's like, this couldn't be further from the truth, because these people, they openly donate to support Palestine, and their political affiliations are nothing like they're being accused of. And this is a never-ending struggle. That's why I'm going to keep asking from people to stop conflating the two things. Anti-Semitism and political ideations and support have nothing to do with each other. Like,
Right.
all different combinations are possible. Okay. Or all kinds of different combinations. The fact that people try to, portray it like there's like two groups of people. One group is in box A, the other group is in box B. Is like the most ridiculous form of propaganda that's nothing but hurtful.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to say that, advocating for Jewish people, but I do not want to hear out the side that is basically the majority of Jewish people that decided to move to Israel on the basis of safety. On the basis of safety, because if nothing else, think about it, Rosie. Especially in Arab countries, Jewish people are not safe. Like, sometimes from the privilege of our own Western societies, we tend to be very critical of things that we have never experienced, because, we're from the safety of our own living room and our own cell phone and our own computer. That's not the case for everyone in the world. And I do believe that everyone deserves to have a place where they can call home, and to have a place where they can feel safe and be a part of their own community. So before jumping into conclusions and making it all about politics, make it about humans first. Try to see what's the driving force behind everyone's motive. Why are they pro-Israel? Why are they pro-Palestine? Where are they from? What are their experiences? It's not cut and dry. It's not cut and dry. And especially if you've never experienced the struggle of anti-Semitism and how wild of a form of hatred it is and how nonstop it can get, I think you should take a step back and reevaluate before you criticize harshly an entire nation, an entire people that desperately beg for allies, because the hate that they get is so real. It's real. And you know what? Yes, I do hope that there is some solution that they can figure out. Unfortunately, I'm not a politician. I just wanted to buy fucking lipsticks. And here I am being crucified because I'm like, how dare you be a Zionist? Well, because people are being persecuted and they need to be safe too. And like, both have rights, and I see both sides, but it's not my place to, condemn an entire nation that I'm not a part of, when especially they're on the receiving end of extreme forms of hate for over 3,000 years. Like, am I making sense? Maybe. I don't know. It's not my place. And the thing is that I'm not coming from the same place as you, Rosie, because you're Jewish. You're Jewish. You have a little bit more of a right to be critical. You have a little bit more of a right to be critical.
Right.
But
I don't live there. I'm not.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I'm not going to get into an argument I'm not going to get in the middle of an argument with Claire arguing with somebody who is pro-Palestine, because that is not my place. Like, I'm coming from a humanitarian standpoint. I have to. Like, there are women and children there, and that is on both sides. But there are women and children in Palestine that are being blown to bits. It is awful. I've seen the videos. I can't ignore it. And so I donate to places that I know will go. So, like, Doctors Without Borders, they will go in there and help people. They're not there to, patch up soldiers and get them back on the field. They're there to help innocents get, help.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. When I'm pro-Palestine, I'm pro-people there that are being hurt.
Exactly.
I am pro-Israel for my people, but I do not like the government there right now. I have issues, so it is what it is. But that does not make me being an anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism. Being a Zionist does not make you. It's just stop. We have to separate it. Period.
I guess that's it. That's a bigger conversation because it's dangerous to also propagate that idea, since many anti-Semites use that as a guise. Like,
I need to clarify by saying I am speaking for Jewish
people only and alone, please.
Yes,
not for the rest of the world.
For Jewish people when I say things like that, because that would be like somebody going and saying, "Oh, you apologize for saying the N-word." Some white person goes, "Oh, you apologize for saying the N-word, so you're not a racist." Obviously, you don't get to say that. It's the same thing.
You don't get to say that. Thank you.
You don't get to say that. It's the same thing with anti-Semitism. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and this is a beautiful parallel that we drew, and this is what I want to close with. Like, for example, I do have much more of a right to criticize, for example, Greek culture, Greek politics, and be much more harsh about it, and it will not make me anti-Greek. But that's not the same for anyone else that is not Greek. So we have to be very vigilant about it, because when you start criticizing and singling out a certain nation, you need to have a spectacular track record of criticizing other nations in the exact same manner. Otherwise, it's vivid proof of bigotry.
Yes.
And in the case of Israel, anti-Semitism. That's why I would abstain from being overly critical unless I'm a Jewish person. And again, it's not like all Jewish people who are pro-Israel or pro-Palestine agree on the ideas that they support. So this is another huge conversation. Another extremely long conversation. Yeah. That we can have next time, because we've been on live for 3 hours.
We're like, we're not going to go 3 hours. And then we're like, so now it's 3 hours. But yeah. So it just really, the bottom line is when you see somebody being told that they are being anti-Semitic, and they go and go off and say whatever, and I tell you that person blocked me, I don't care what sorry they're fucking saying. Like, that's really strange, right? You don't get to go and say, oh, well, you apologized, so you're not anti-Semitic.
Exactly.
You don't get to say that. Please don't excuse people for being like a good example is Angelica Alls. I can't be anti-Semitic because I'm Polish.
Yeah,
and
that's a stretch.
We reported that. That's some dumb shit, y'all. I'm sorry. She needed to apologize. She was asked to apologize by many Jewish creators, and she blocked them. So, you can be anti-Semitic. Please don't tell somebody that they're not. That's like saying it's like these fuckers saying America isn't racist. Yeah, we are. Please don't say things like that. It gives people the right, it gives them an excuse to continue being evil. Period.
Exactly. And with that thought, I think we can close for today. I really wanted to talk about the Kenya incident, and it seems that we had so many things to say. We were bubbling for so long, but you know what? I'm going to keep that incident to open our next live, because I'm going to be featuring Rosie again, my Jewish goddess extraordinaire, on this very channel, fighting anti-Semites one day at a time. All right, guys.
Hi, everybody.
All right, guys. Thank you for sticking by with us. Have a good one. Good night. Bye.